The National Broadcasting Company presents the first of a series of 8 radio dramas by George H. Faulkner entitled American Portraits. Tonight's star, Dennis King. Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, Adams. To most of us, these hallowed names represent dim, shadowy figures, barely human, usually posed in patriotic attitudes, stiff with the textbook boredom of countless dusty schoolrooms. It is the aim of this new series of dramatic portraits to blow away some of the dust of years, to show you a few of these distinguished men, not only in their greatness, but also in their common humanity, as they must have appeared to their friends and neighbors. The problems that confronted these men in the past were not, in essence, different from those we face today. Perhaps in the example of their action, we can find inspiration to meet our own difficulties with wisdom. Today in Korea, 2 groups of men have gathered to discuss a hope of peace, a hope we share with all the world. 175 years ago, a similar meeting took place. The principal actor then is the subject of our play now. May we present Dennis King as the Incomparable Doctor, Benjamin Franklin.
The date, as I remember it, was September the 9th in the year 1776. I had arisen according to my wont at 5 of the clock. Having sent up a prayer to the Supreme Goodness, I attended as best I could to several items of correspondence, and then bent my attention to an experiment concerning ants, which I had begun the previous evening. To my great satisfaction, the experiment proved successful, but unfortunately I fumbled the apparatus at a critical moment and, oh, dear, that will do it, I'm afraid. Sure enough, here she comes. That did it.
Father, what was that noise? Oh, look at the floor. What is it, Father?
Molasses, Sarah, just molasses and a few harmless ants. Hymenoptera, the common house ant.
A few ants? Why, there are thousands of them, all over the best carpet. What were you doing?
An experiment, my dear.
Oh, another experiment.
Yes, you see, I had formed the opinion that ants possess some manner of communication one with the other. Some form of speech, you understand, and...
Talking ants, what nonsense.
Oh, but it's not nonsense, daughter. I have proved that ants do converse, or perhaps signal to each other. Unfortunately, however, I dropped the molasses pot and it was full of ants.
And so my best carpet is ruined. And if ants can talk, well,
like your own sweet beloved mother, who once thought it extremely undignified of me as a grown man to go around flying kites in the rain. No woman was ever a philosopher, and thank heaven for that. Now what?
There's someone at the door.
With a fife and drum?
No, of course not. That's the children in the kitchen.
Well, we are beset apparently front and rear. Would you see to our visitor while I prepare to repel the invaders? There, never mind the molasses. Step over it.
Oh, dear. Sometimes I wish I were 3 people at least.
Company, halt! Benjamin, Willie, attention. Now, what can I do for you?
Oh, have you seen any redcoats, Grandfather? We're scouting for lobster bats.
Bang, bang! He's dead.
Don't mind him, sir. Willie, you can't shoot Grandfather.
Oh, I don't know. I might just as well be dead as feeling the way I do this morning. So you're playing soldiers?
Yes, sir.
Bang, bang!
Not now, Willie.
Boys, soldiers, fellow Continentals, how would you like to earn a shilling apiece?
Oh, fine, sir. How?
Father!
Just a minute, boys. Yes, Sarah?
Mr. Goodhue to see you, Father. By appointment, he says.
Goodhue? Goodhue? I don't remember him, but then I don't seem to remember much of anything this morning. All right, show him in.
Right this way, Mr. Goodhue.
Bang, bang. He's dead.
Mr. Goodhue?
Yes, sir.
Well, kindly ignore these irregular troops and have a chair. Watch out for the molasses on the floor.
Molasses, Doctor?
Oh, yes, we often have molasses on the floor. It's good for the carpet. Now boys.
Yes, sir?
Here's a shilling apiece for you to put in your banks, understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you say you go hunt for redcoats outside in Market Street?
Yes, sir. Come along, Willie.
Bang, 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 bang. They're all dead.
And now, Mr. Goodhue, now that we've dispersed the rebels, what can I do for you?
I wrote to you some days ago, Doctor, from New York, on the advice of Mr. James Parker, sir.
Parker. Goodhue. Ah, yes, now I remember. You're the gentleman who wished to establish a printing house in the Barbados, and you asked for a loan of £50.
I've scrimped and saved, Doctor, for 15 years, and now...
And now this is your great opportunity, eh? Well, sir, you shall have your chance. After reading your letter and Parker's, I had already decided.
Oh, Doctor, I don't know how to...
No, don't try to thank me, Mr. Goodhue. Here's the money.
I shall pay back every cent, Doctor, within a year at the most.
Your prospects are excellent, else I would not have handed you £50. But I don't want you to pay me back.
You don't want to be paid?
No. A year from now, when you have discharged your other debt, as I'm sure you will do, look about you for an honest man in need. Lend him my £50, sir, enjoining him to discharge the debt by a like operation when he shall be able. Thus my loan may go through many hands before it meets with a knave to stop its progress.
Oh, marvelous idea, Doctor.
Oh, no. Just a shabby trick of mine for doing a deal of good with a little money. I am not rich enough to afford much in good work, so I am obliged to be cunning and make the most of a little.
Father?
Yes, Sarah?
There's a carriage at the curb. For you, the driver said. You didn't tell me...
Mr. Goodhue, you'll excuse me, sir. I must be off, but... wait just a moment. In your letter, I believe you said you had been apprenticed for a time in the shop of a chemist before becoming a printer.
Why, yes, sir. In Boston,
Splendid. Then perhaps you know some substance, some chemical capable of removing molasses stains from fine carpet? I am sure you do. Sarah, Mr. Goodhue here will help you with your problem. Goodbye, my dear.
But, Father, you haven't told me where you're going.
Through the British lines, my dear, to Staten Island, to the headquarters of Lord Richard Howe, who, with his brother, commands all of His Majesty's forces in America, to see Black Dick himself.
But, Father, you're ill. You mustn't undertake another journey. You know you're not supposed to travel yet. The doctor said...
I'm a tired old man, it's true, but when I return from this mission, if I do return, I may have peace in my pocket. That'd be worth a few aches and pains, my child.
Yes, I suppose it would, but...
Now, take good care of Benjamin and Willie, Sarah. Oh, and Mr. Goodhue.
Yes, Doctor?
If you succeed in removing the molasses stain, write me and tell me how you did it. I may be old and tired, but I am still curious. Good fortune in the Barbados.
Good fortune to you, sir.
May God go with him. Oh, the poor man.
Mrs. Bates, ma'am, your father is the richest man in all the colonies, perhaps in all the world. He has wisdom and courage and love.
And so we rode north from Philadelphia to New Brunswick through a long, rainy September day. My companion was young Edward Rutledge of South Carolina, at 27, a member of the Continental Congress. 3 commissioners had been appointed by the Congress to meet with Lord Howe. Rutledge, myself, and that pompous, stubborn, and able Bostonian, John Adams. The better to mortify his flesh, of which he possessed a considerable quantity, Adams had chosen to travel by horseback. At a crowded tavern in New Brunswick, we met for supper.
Dr. Franklin, sir, I beg you to remonstrate with the woman who manages this hovel. Perhaps you can persuade her that we can't.
Oh, I've tried, Adams, I've tried. There's only one room, and we must share it or sit all night. And I warn you, I snore most dreadfully.
May I suggest, Doctor, that you sum up for us your own view of the situation we face tomorrow?
Gladly, Mr. Rutledge.
Is more than one view possible? The whole thing is a humbug, a trap, a device to place the blame for war on the Congress.
That may be true, Adams. But let us examine the lines of the trap, if trap it be, so that we may better avoid its jaws. Now, here is the problem as I see it. 1, General Washington is badly beaten on Long Island, and General Sullivan is captured. 2, General Sullivan is returned to us in Philadelphia, hale and hearty, with a message from Howe suggesting a conference on peace terms.
Sullivan is a vanity-ridden windbag. Would that the first bullet fired on Long Island had passed through his head.
My, Adams, you are fatigued. Well, point 3. Sullivan tells Congress that Howe holds the power to make peace, that he has new powers.
Which powers Sullivan described to the Congress in the vaguest and most confused of terms.
Because those powers do not in fact exist. Sullivan has let himself be used as a decoy duck.
Well, that's possible, yes, but we cannot afford to assume that it is true.
Your advice, then, Doctor?
Let us proceed on the morrow with an open mind, but with the greatest care. Lord Howe is a man of honor. I knew him in London, and I know him sincerely. He desires a peaceful settlement.
Do you want peace, sir? Do you want to see all our work undone?
There never was a good war, Adams, or a bad peace. But it takes 2 to end a quarrel, and I share your doubts concerning the good intent of Lord Howe's masters in London.
In London, I happen to know, the King's ministers have a list of those among us who can hope for no pardon under any form of settlement. Those of us who will hang. My name heads that list.
Oh, no doubt the list includes my own name, sir, down among the F's. Can we not approach Lord Howe in one mind, an open one?
You were chosen to lead this mission, Doctor. I shall follow your lead, unless and until your words run counter to my own convictions. And now, with your permission, I shall retire. Good night to you.
And I, sir, must be off to my own lodgings.
You were fortunate in finding friends in New Brunswick, Mr. Rutledge. I shall have only the company of Adams all night, and I think I'll postpone that pleasure by writing a few letters.
Well, it's after midnight, Doctor. We must be off again at dawn.
Well, old men need little sleep, son. Good night to you.
Good night, Dr. Frank.
Good night, good night. Now, let's see. My dear Linnaeus, in regard to your theory concerning communication among ants, I am sending to Sweden with your friend Peter Kahn a description of...
Beg pardon, sir.
Yes, madam?
You're Dr. Franklin? The great Dr. Franklin?
I'm Benjamin Franklin, yes.
My name is Wilkins. Mary Wilkins. I've been running the tavern here as best I could since my husband... Well, since he...
Your husband is with the army?
He was killed, Dr. Franklin, on Long Island.
Oh, my dear woman, I am sorry.
It isn't true, is it? It can't be true what the soldiers are saying.
And what are
that
they?
That Congress is making peace with the British. That the politicians are selling out the army. That you are going to Howe to surrender. That my husband gave his life for nothing. Nothing.
No. There, Mrs. Wilkins, don't weep, now, don't weep.
But is it true? Is it true?
No, ma'am, it is not true. We are going to meet with Lord Howe, yes. But I give you my word, Mrs. Wilkins, that we shall do nothing in our negotiations to dishonor the sacrifice made by your husband.
I believe you, Doctor.
Most people do, ma'am, since I always tell the truth. And now I think I'll change my mind and retire. Would you kindly show me to my room, ma'am?
Right this way, Doctor. I'm sorry it's so small and only one window. Mr. Adams complained most bitterly.
It's very like Mr. Adams.
Here we are. Good night, Dr. Franklin.
Good night, ma'am. Good night. And remember my words. Oh, Lord, 'tis small indeed. No chimney, one window, and the window closed, of course. Well, we'll see to that. That's better.
I say, who's there? Franklin, you're not opening the window.
Of course I'm opening the window, my dear Adams.
The night air, Doctor, will catch our death of cold.
Well, I already have a cold. Now, if I leave that window down, you'll have one too in the morning. Coals are caused not by night air, as silly old wives believe, but by the absence of air in confined quarters, by the effluvium of the lungs, sir, breathed out into closed spaces, and I can give you positive proof. Well, sir, do you wish to learn about my investigation into the cause of the common cold? Asleep again. Younger men today, they have no stamina, no curiosity. I wonder if Sarah ever got the molasses off the floor. From New Brunswick in the grey and drizzling dawn, we'll jolted along to Perth Amboy and then took barge to Staten Island. There we were received with polite ceremony and every convenience, including a company of very large Hessian grenadiers drawn up at attention in our honor. Lord Howe met us on the beach in cordial fashion, led us to his headquarters where we were served bread, tongue and cold ham with a most excellent claret. Even Adams forbore to frown at the wine, but his customary expression returned as Lord Howe began.
And now, gentlemen, to the matter of our meeting. Dr. Franklin, you in particular should be sensible of my personal desire for the ends of peace.
I shall always be grateful for the help you and your charming sister afforded me in London towards those ends. Nevertheless, sir, you have conveyed an army hither to make war upon our people.
Doctor, I lingered 2 months in London in order to obtain from His Majesty the power to make peace rather than war. And I succeeded in that endeavor. But whilst I strove for peace, your Congress has declared independency. It must be understood that I cannot treat with you officially as representatives of a rebel confederation.
What did I tell you, Franklin? The whole affair's a useless waste.
Mr. Adams refuses to believe that you have any real news to give us, my lord. He denies that you have authority to treat on any new basis whatever.
That authority I do have, Doctor, as I told your General Sullivan. But my writ does not run to the granting of status to a rebel Congress. Come, gentlemen, 'tis a small matter. A thing of form, not of substance. I am compelled to protect myself. I must treat with you simply as 3 gentlemen of ability and influence, as private gentlemen.
Stuff and nonsense. I was sure
Now,
that
Mr. Adams, an open mind. Well, perhaps a compromise in etiquette can be arranged. Let Lord Howe look upon us in any view he finds convenient. We, in turn, shall be at liberty to consider ourselves in our real character. Thus we may converse as friends in a political vacuum, so to speak.
Very well. Does Mr. Adams object to vacuums?
I know nothing of such nothings. You may consider me a private gentleman, my lord, if you wish, or in any other character, except that of a British subject.
And so it went back and forth for 3 endless hours. During every second of those hours, I searched for that impossible, final, last dear hope of peace. Peace with independence and honor. And so did Lord Howe after his fashion. You see, it was not simple, this revolution you read about. It wasn't a case of red-coated villains against saintly heroes in continental buff and blue. It was a complex and mixed-up affair, like your own life and your own time. Your life and your time were in the balance then, in that farmhouse on Staten Island, when young Rutledge said...
May I remind your lordship that we've just begun to answer force with force? At the expense of £3 million, Britain managed to kill 150 Yankees in the Massachusetts campaign. That's £20,000 a head. Any move against South Carolina, sir, will prove considerably more expensive.
I understood we were to talk as friends, gentlemen. Mr. Rutledge has escaped from the vacuum.
Southern colonies are noted for explosive native temperament. Mr. Rutledge was speaking as an honest friend.
I was indeed, Lord Howe, with all my heart. And in all honest, friendly fellow feeling, may I urge upon your lordship the advantages Britain might obtain from an alliance with these independent states? Allied as co-equal partners, my lord, We might lead the world and bring peace and plenty to every corner of the globe. As subjects, sir, we have cost you money and blood. And that cost will mount and mount and mount as long as you try to keep us in subjection. As friends and equals, there'd be no limit to the prosperity and the dignity we might mutually achieve. If you will but recognize our independency, sir.
Independency? There, I'm afraid, is the heart of our dispute. Is there no way of treading back this rash step of rebellion, gentlemen, and so opening the door to a full discussion of the new terms I bring?
Your new terms do not then encompass the possibility of independence or even the possibility of a discussion upon the subject?
No, Doctor, they do not.
Then I fear we three have traveled a long, weary road to no purpose. The step of independency, as you call it, was the inevitable result of many earlier steps. We were forced down every inch of that path. We were forced by fire and the sword toward the end. Now, sir, our American independence and our American honor are one. May I quote? These colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. And now, my lord, we shall take our leave with your permission.
If you must, Doctor. If you must.
And about time. Come along, Rutledge. Dr. Franklin.
Stay but a moment, Doctor. You understand, do you not? You understand.
That you are a man of goodwill. I do so believe, Lord Howe. At 70, I understand too many things.
I wanted peace, Doctor, with all my heart. But could I betray my king?
And I wanted peace, my lord, with all my heart, with all my will, with all my mind. But could I betray my country? We are victims, sir, victims of history and heartless time. One day, perhaps, many, many long centuries hence, this world will be ruled by men of reason and fortitude and human-heartedness. But now, alas, the children rule with their little toy drums and their deadly little bullets and their cherished falsehoods. And so, my dear good friend, henceforth you are my enemy, and I am yours. May God bless you, and destroy your armies.
Dr. Franklin, sir, can you tell me what happened with Lord Howe?
Oh, nothing happened, Mary. Nothing has changed. The war will go on. Does that make you happy?
I don't know. Do you know, sir?
No. I don't know, my dear. I don't believe anyone really knows. And I could say to young Rutledge at supper back in New Brunswick when he, too, made inquiry.
Doctor, I've listened to you today with the deepest admiration. I'm young, sir, and, well, I can see I need your guidance. Do you move in these matters according to some general rule?
By many rules according to circumstance, but by one axiom that always prevails. It's an old-fashioned one, I'm afraid. It reads, honesty is the best policy.
But, sir, that's all very well in dealing with gentlemen and officers such as Lord Howe. My career, I expect, will be cast among lawyers and politicians.
Well, in dealing with politicians, son, I still take pains to speak the exact truth. That is my only cunning. And the politicians are so corrupt that I always fool them by this means. If the rascals knew the advantages of virtue, they would become honest men out of sheer rascality. And again, back in the little stuffy room with John Adams, the window being open this time, for even an Adams can learn.
I must admit, Franklin, you surprised me. I had thought last night that you intended to yield. You know, I could feel the rope around my neck.
Ponder not too often upon that noose, my friend. With the help of God and General Washington, we'll yet escape His Majesty's gallows.
With the help of God. You surprise me, Doctor. I didn't know you were a religious man.
I conceal the fact as best I can. But tonight, after the event we have witnessed, well, John, would you join me in a prayer? It's one I compose myself, a manner of litany, and I try to offer it up at least once a day.
I must say, Doctor, I'm fairly tired out for praying.
All you need to do is to join in the responses. My prayer goes like this. That I may be preserved from atheism and infidelity, impiety and profaneness, and in my addresses to thee carefully avoid irreverence and ostentation, formality and odious hypocrisy. Help me, O Father.
Help me, O Father.
That I may be sincere in friendship, faithful in trust, and impartial in judgment, watchful against pride and against anger, that momentary madness. Well, John?
Help me, O Father.
That I may be honest and open-hearted, gentle, merciful and good, cheerful in spirit, rejoicing in the good of others. Rejoicing in the good of others. Asleep again. Well, it takes only one to make a prayer. And for as much as ingratitude is one of the most odious of vices, let me be not unmindful, gratefully to acknowledge the favors I receive from heaven, for peace and liberty, for food and raiment, for corn and wine and milk, and every kind of healthful nourishment. Good God, I thank thee. For the common benefits of air and light, for useful fire and delicious water. Good God, I thank thee. For all thy innumerable benefits, for life and reason, from the use of speech, for health and joy, and every pleasant hour. My good God, I thank thee. Amen. And so, to bed.
You have been listening to The Incomparable Doctor, with Dennis King as Benjamin Franklin. Other members of the cast were Martin Blaine, Brooke Byron, Ivan Curry, Gavin Gordon, Vinton Hayworth, Alan Hewitt, David Pfeffer, and Ethel Wilson. The orchestra is conducted by Milton Katims, with a special score composed by Alan Schulman, utilizing thematic material from a string quartet composed by Benjamin Franklin himself. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen to American Portraits next week, when we will again present Dennis King, this time as Thomas Jefferson, in the second of a series of 8 dramatic character studies of great Americans, produced and directed by D. Engelbach and written by George H. Faulkner. Tonight's script was presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights, and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC. The National Broadcasting Company presents the second in a series of 8 radio dramas by George H. Faulkner, entitled American Portraits. Tonight's star, Dennis King. The American leaders of 1776, Jefferson, Franklin, Adams, and the rest. To most of us, these hallowed names represent dim, shadowy figures, barely human, usually posed in patriotic attitudes, stiff with the textbook boredom of countless dusty schoolrooms. It is the aim of this new series of dramatic portraits to blow away some of the dust of years, to show you a few of these distinguished men, not only in their greatness, but also in their common humanity, as they must have appeared to their friends and neighbors. Tonight we shall meet a Virginian gentleman whose wisdom and courage and human-heartedness are forever embodied in the basic charter of our liberties. We present Dennis King as Thomas Jefferson in Storm at Montecello. Time, the present. Place, a winding state road outside Charlottesville in Virginia. Mr. and Mrs. Jefferson Jones of Main Street, Middle City, USA, are on the way to visit Montecello. They're motoring, of course.
Jeff, I do wish you'd drive more slowly. These curves.
Yes, dear, but we're late. Garage fella said the place closes at 7.
Oh, we should have left Williamsburg much earlier. And I do believe there's a storm coming up.
Yeah, storm's almost here. Well, this seems to be it. Thomas Jefferson Memorial Foundation. Ticket office. Admission 90 cents. There's nobody around. Oh, here comes the rain.
I never saw it get dark so quickly. What'll we do?
We better see if we can get in the main house up yonder. Come on, Pat, hurry. It's beginning to cut loose.
Oh.
I'll try the door. No use. She's locked.
We'll get drenched, Jeff. The rain blows right in. Let's go back to the car.
Wait a second. Here's a bell of some sort. Might as well give it a try. Looks like you turn it.
Lordy, that was close.
Come in. Do come in.
Thank you. Come along, Pat.
Well, this is an unexpected pleasure. Are you quite all right?
Just a little wet in spots. I guess being late, we were lucky to find you in, Mr.
Burgess. I'm the curator here. I often linger a while after the visitors have gone. Of course, it's quite against the rules, but I could hardly turn away a guest in such a storm. Not at Montecello. Now, I'll be delighted to show you about while the storm wears itself out in these hills.
But it's so dark.
The electrical fluid has failed, I'm afraid, but I believe I know where the candles are stored. Now, if you'll just wait a moment, I think you'll find the clock over the door rather interesting.
Patricia, I don't like this. There's something strange about that man.
Nonsense, Jeff. He seems to be most obliging. After all, we're intruders here after hours and all.
Just the same, I suppose we may as well enjoy ourselves. Look, I remember reading about this big clock over the door. It's run by those cannonball weights on either side of the room, see?
This is rather ingenious, don't you think? Why, I am sorry I frightened you. Now, if you'll each take a candle...
Oh, my, you did scare me, Mr. Burgess. Did Mr. Jefferson build the clock himself?
Oh, no. He designed it. A Swiss clockmaker built it. It has recently been, restored.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's very clever, but it's sort of overpowering. I don't believe I'd want a cannonball clock in my living room. And what's the ladder for?
To tinker with the clock. I've sometimes thought that Mrs. Jefferson, must have been secretly of your opinion, ma'am.
What was Mrs. Jefferson like?
She was very beautiful, ma'am, with auburn hair and hazel eyes. Gentle she was, and kind, and most sweetly humorous, having a gaiety of spirit upon which all remarked. Far too good for that stiff and bookish young man she married. Or so I've always thought. He courted her with music, which was his only grace when young, save for the knack of putting down fine words on paper.
Oh, did that happen here at Montecello, Mr. Burgess?
The courtship? Oh, no. At her father's plantation called the Forest, down country near the James River. Now, let's see. How time flies. That must have been in the winter of 1771. Now, perhaps you can imagine the scene in candlelight very like this. The tall, rangy, red-haired young man with a fiddle under his chin. Lovely Martha Skelton of the harpsichord. He called her Patty, though, not Martha. And he was very, very much in love.
I do believe we played it all the way through without a single mistake.
Well, almost. I must confess to one wrong note myself.
Why, how perfectly dreadful. Hold out your hand, and I shall rap your knuckles. Give me your bow, sir. Now, your hand, if you please.
Well, here you are, Patty. I'm used to this, you know. It is not the first time I've struck a wrong note in the presence of a young lady.
And did pretty Miss Burwell rap your knuckles, Tom?
Oh, no, she straight away married Jack Ambler instead of me, thank heaven. How did you know about Rebecca?
Everyone in Williamsburg knew at the time. Everyone in Williamsburg always knows everything. Did she hurt you, Tom?
Well, I was very young, and it seemed the world had quite tumbled down about my ears when I lost her.
I've heard Mistress Ambler's version. She's very talkative. What really happened?
I thought I loved her, Patty. I also thought I wanted to go to England for a year. One night, dancing at the Apollo Room, I tried to get to the point of asking her to wait for me till I came back. It may be she never understood what I was trying to say.
Oh, she understood well enough. She pretended not to all evening. She enjoyed your...
My silly young awkwardness.
Your manlike discomfiture. Oh. But, Tom...
Yes, Patty?
I'd never hurt you.
I know you wouldn't, Patty.
Not even in play with this bow. Away, cruel bludgeon.
No.
After all, what's one wrong note among so many? Shall we try again?
No, not just yet. No, if you don't mind, Patty, I'd like to... Well, there's something I must say.
Yes, Tom.
I was determined not to be misunderstood this time. I had written it all out as I like to do. I even had thought to read it aloud to you, but then, well, that seemed to be
a wrong note, Tom.
Yes, a wrong note. And so, well, Patty, all the words come down to this. I love you. Will you marry me?
Tom, even if you had written it out, even if you had read your declaration to me as if I were the House of Burgesses, my answer would still have been yes. You see, I love you, Tom. Oh, there's no thinking about it. I love you.
You know, it's strange with me as well. There's no thinking this time. Not this time. It's real. Like music.
Well, then, 'tis settled. It has ever been so since first we met. Shall we try Ben Jonson's song again?
Surely, my dear. And no wrong notes this time?
From now on, Tom, no wrong notes.
And so they were married on New Year's Day in 1772 with a pair of preachers at £5 each and a fine deal of fiddle music for a 10-shilling fee.
And he brought his bride here to Montecello?
Yes, to his beloved mountaintop. But things were quite different here at the time. This main building existed then only in young Jefferson's soaring imagination. Now, if you'll just come with me through these 2 glass doors into the cellar, you'll notice that when I open the door, thus the other door opens as well, automatically.
Well, I declare. Did Jefferson invent that, too?
Oh, yes, ma'am. He was often well in advance of his time. Now, if you'll just look through the windows here, you can see what the guides call his honeymoon cottage. Mr. Jefferson, I'm afraid, would have shuddered at the phrase. Yes, the rain has let up a little. You can see it. The small square brick structure yonder.
Ah, it is small.
Yes, isn't it? It seemed even smaller at the time, but rather, well, snug, I expect. It was very late at night when they arrived in a heavy snowfall. They struggled up the mountain paths on horseback at the end of their journey through 2 feet of snow, and they found no one about, no servants, and worse, no fire.
Must have been a dreary homecoming for the bride.
Oh, no, not really. It was young Tom who found a bottle of wine hidden behind a bookshelf, and well, they were merry enough, I assure you. Now, if you'll just come this way. Now, this is Mr. Jefferson's bedroom and library. The bed, set in the wall between, could be lifted up on pulleys and concealed behind the upper hangings there.
My, Mr. Jefferson must have been almost as fond of gadgets as my husband here.
Well, you see, he loved this house, and during all his days he kept on adding little improvements. He would have asked nothing better of life than be permitted to stay here always. But always and ever, he was forced over and over again to leave his light and airy mountain refuge for the battles of the darkling plain. If you were to seek out at Montecello a symbol of his career, it might well be this little portable writing box. It's a replica of the one upon which Mr. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Goodness. On that little thing?
Yes, one just like it. You see, it folds up into a very small space. It's no beauty, I'm afraid, but it is neat, plain, and convenient, as he used to say.
Somehow, sir, it's hard to imagine the Declaration actually being written out. It seems as though it must have, well, just happened.
Like the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai? Well, hardly. A great deal of effort on the part of a 33-year-old Virginian went into every word. I can imagine that quite easily. The young man's mother had died only a few weeks before, and he was suffering from a natural depression and from migraine headaches. At the call of duty, however, he journeyed to Philadelphia, there to take rooms in the home of a bricklayer, one Mr. Graff. A parlor and a bedroom with a staircase between the two it was. His violin, like his writing box, went with him everywhere. On an evening in late June, the year being 1776...
Beg your pardon, Mr. Tom.
Yes, Bob, what is it?
A visitor, sir. Looks like that old Dr. Franklin.
Well, show him up by all means. Help him up the stairs, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Coming, Jefferson. Coming. As best I can. No, boy, I can make it by myself.
Oh, this is a great pleasure, Doctor. I take it your gout has improved.
Somewhat. If one can discover degrees in absolute misery. At least I'm able to hobble about again. And your migraines?
Oh, much better, Doctor.
Oh, good.
Won't you take a chair?
That's better. A fine pair we make, each bedeviled at an opposite end of the anatomy.
Oh, sir.
Well, sir, I can stay but a moment. I'm on my way home from Benfield, out Bristol way, and I thought I'd see how your work might be progressing.
Well, it's almost done, sir. The charges against the king are drawn up as we agree, but I'm I'm having trouble with the philosophical beginning, the opening paragraphs. Now, one sentence in particular...
Would you read me what you have? The doubtful portion?
Certainly, Doctor. Now, let me see this. Yes, this passage here, this is giving me trouble. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with inherent and inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and property, etc., as before.
And what is your difficulty?
Well, the word property doesn't seem quite right, Doctor. The meaning is too narrow.
But surely the right to hold property without disturbance lies at the heart of our cause.
Agreed, and the document as a whole will make that clear. But here in the very beginning,
You'd like to sing a bit, eh?
Yes, sing, perhaps that's it. Besides, the phrase life, liberty, and property belongs to John Locke, and it's been echoed by scores of pamphleteers of late. No, I prefer a more original expression.
Life, liberty, and happiness, perhaps.
Yes, I thought of that. But can happiness itself be set down as a God-given natural right?
Oh, scarcely. No, not when nature's God afflicts us with gout and migraine. Jefferson, if you'll pardon an old man's pessimism, perhaps you're struggling in vain for words. Whatever you write, the Congress will surely change it in the end.
Still, I have been set the task. I intend to construct as best I can an expression of the American mind in these troubled times.
And I'd be the last to discourage such a brave attempt. I merely point out that some 70 minds, most of them belonging to lawyers, not poets, will edit your work in the Congress. Personally, I avoid, whenever I can, drafting papers to be reviewed by a public body. That's a thankless task.
Oh, I expect no thanks, Doctor. No praise.
You get precious little of either. Except perhaps from posterity in the event we escape hanging. Oh, well, I must be going. You'll have the document for our committee on Monday, I presume.
I shall, Doctor. Can I help you, sir?
If you would. There. I'm upright, at least. Surely, of all the impediments to the pursuit of felicity, a gouty great toe is the most damnably vile.
Allow me, sir.
Oh, no. I can manage all right now. Good day to you, Mr. Jefferson. And happy phrases to your pen.
Good day, Doctor. Good day. Pursuit of felicity. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of felicity. No, not at all. Pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I have it. At last. Bob. You, Bob.
Yes, Mr. Tom.
Bob, come here. Listen to this. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with inherent and inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government. Of course, Mr. Jones, no one today can be quite sure just how or why Mr. Jefferson changed Locke's life, liberty, and property to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What I have told you is at best an informed guess, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, are you there?
Right here, sir. I was just looking at the portrait of Mr. Jefferson yonder.
Oh, indeed, and you noticed the curious resemblance to me? Oh, well, many visitors have done so. I believe there may be some distant family connection. Well, the storm has renewed its fury, hasn't it? I think you will find this portrait more interesting than the other, Mr. Jones. Certainly more handsome. This is Mr. Jefferson's daughter, Martha, or Patsy, she was called. The painting is by Sully.
Oh, how beautiful she was. So lively looking.
Yes, like her mother. Very much like her mother. After his wife died, Mr. Jefferson could not possibly have gone on save for this noble girl.
Were there other children, Mr. Burgess?
There were 6. 6. 3 died in infancy. Only 2 lived into mature years, Martha and Mary. Oh, there was much sorrow at Montecello to balance the great happiness. Do you not feel that this must have been true?
I think I know what you mean, sir. I have read that Mr. Jefferson was much affected by the death of his wife.
For hours after that awful moment, sir, he lay insensible. For days he despaired of living. For weeks he remained secluded in his study yonder, pacing back and forth in terrible grief. And then one October afternoon, with the autumn sunlight outside challenging the black hopelessness in his heart.
Father?
Yes, child?
May I come in?
Why, yes, Patsy, do come in, of course.
Auntie Carr said I was to ask, are you not feeling better, Father?
Why, yes, I believe I am.
And I was to tell you Dabney's had the measles, but he's better now, too. And Janie didn't catch it from him. And Grizzle has a new coat. A filly, Father. And Jupiter says Caractacus needs exercise very badly. And all the stable boys are sad. And when are you going to come riding with me again?
I suppose you've been riding every day?
Yes, Father. On Bergère.
I'm not studying at all.
No, Father. But the woods are so pretty now.
And I've not heard you practicing the forte piano. Not once.
But Auntie Carr said I was not to. Not after Mother... After Mother went away.
Now, there, child, forgive me. My thoughts, I'm afraid, have been too firmly fastened upon myself alone, but we must see that your studies are resumed. Now, before your mother, that is, some time ago, I drew up a daily schedule I'd like to have you follow. It's in my desk. Yes, here it is. Now, from 8 to 10, practice music. From 10 to 1, dance one day and draw another. From 1 to 2, draw on the day you dance and write a letter next day. From 3 to 4, read French. From 4 to 5, exercise yourself in music. From 5 till bedtime, read in English, write, etc., etc. Well, my dear, what do you think of our little list?
My goodness, Father. You've left no room at all for the horses.
So I haven't. Well, my dear, we shall certainly need to draw up an amendment. Well, the chair consents, and it is so ordered. The horses go in at a gallop. Oh, Patsy.
Father.
Yes, Patsy?
You were laughing again.
So I was. You've helped me, child. You've helped me very much indeed.
Everyone has been so worried.
Yes, I've been making myself a problem to the entire household. No more of that. Patsy, I want you to run. Run, mind you. I want you to run and tell Jupiter to have the boys saddle Caractacus and Bergère at once. We'll ride together this afternoon. From now on, we'll always ride together, Patsy.
Always, Father. Always and always.
And so the clouds of sorrow began to be dispersed, even as our own thunderclouds are scattering now over the Blue Ridge.
I do believe it is clearing up. You've been most kind, Mr. Burgess.
This house has ever borne a reputation for hospitality, ma'am. Now, let us by all means go outside. A sunset at Montecello after a summer storm, now that's a spectacle not to be missed. Oh, Mr. Jones.
Coming, sir. I was just looking at that big chair over there. It seems rather modern.
Well, the leather upholstery has been restored. But the design is another of Mr. Jefferson's little notions. It's the first revolving chair ever made, I believe. And there's a dumbwaiter, too, in the dining room. Strange to me how our visitors are always so interested in these little, What was the word you used, Mrs. Jones?
Gadgets.
Oh, yes. Mr. Jefferson, I believe, would have regarded another of his inventions, the mold-board plough, as more important.
My, he must have been a busy man.
When in good health, ma'am, he never let the sun rise before him. Now, shall we go out on the terrace now? The storm is quite over.
Certainly, sir.
There you see the reason for Montecello. Is it not magnificent?
It's really lovely. Why, it's breathtaking, this view.
Yes. I sometimes think Mr. Jefferson loved his country so dearly because he could see so much of it from his own doorstep.
Over there, sir. I suppose that's the University of Virginia, those buildings?
Oh, yes, that's another of our host's many inventions. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free, he once said, it expects what never was and never will be.
Oh, I don't see how he could ever bear to leave this spot.
Even his friends, ma'am, accuse him of loving all this too well. But I think I can say he never failed to meet the challenge of events. The pursuit of happiness for him led ever down the path of duty. That path in time led to the presidency, to the new city of Washington, just over yonder horizon. Perhaps you can picture him across the great valley there, striding into the Senate chamber to deliver his inaugural address. Let us then, fellow citizens, unite with one heart and one mind. Let us restore to social intercourse that harmony and affection without which liberty and even life itself are but dreary things. And let us reflect that having banished from our land that religious intolerance under which mankind so long bled and suffered, we have yet gained little if we countenance a political intolerance as despotic, as wicked, and capable of as bitter and bloody persecutions.
Mr. Burgess.
Eh? Oh, my mind, I'm afraid, was elsewhere.
What advice, sir, do you suppose Mr. Jefferson would give his fellow countrymen now, in 1951?
The earth, he might say, belongs to the living. Make your own life. And surely he'd say, draw closer together as brothers in freedom. Close your ranks and move forward without fear. And may that infinite power which rules the destinies of the universe lead your counsels to what is best and give them a favorable issue for your peace and prosperity.
You have been listening to Storm at Monticello with Dennis King as Thomas Jefferson. Other members of the cast were Denise Alexander, Martin Blaine, William Greaves, Ronald Long, Claire Neeson, and Gertrude Warner. The orchestra is conducted by Milton Catums with a special score composed by Alan Shulman. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen to American Portraits next week, when we will again present Dennis King as our star in John Yankee, the story of John Adams. This will be the third of a series of 8 dramatic character studies of great Americans produced and directed by D. Engelbach and written by George Faulkner. Tonight's script was presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The National Broadcasting Company presents the third in a series of 8 radio dramas by George H. Faulkner entitled American Portraits. Tonight's star, Alan Hewitt.
Order! Order, please! Order! Order, please. It is here further charged that the defendants, William Whamms, William Macaulay, Matthew Kilroy, Hugh Montgomery, James Hartigan, Hugh White, William Warren, and John Carroll, not having the fear of God before their eyes, but being moved and seduced by the instigation of the devil in their own wicked hearts, did on the 5th day of March, with force and arms, feloniously, willfully, and of their malice aforethought, do unto death the aforesaid 5 citizens of Boston town. The prisoners have heard the indictment. How do they plead?
Not guilty.
God send you a good deliverance. Let the trial proceed.
This is the story of a famous American murder trial. And it is told by the attorney for the defense, for it is his story, too. His name, John Adams. That same John Adams who was one day to become the 2nd President of the United States. John Yankee himself. John Adams speaks.
They were innocent under our law, those 8 British soldiers, and I knew it. Yet to plead their cause in the year 1770 was the most difficult task I ever undertook, in a lifetime full of stony choices. I think the story might well begin on an early summer evening 2 years before the trial. Abigail and I had a late visitor at our house in Brattle Street, my closest friend, Jonathan Sewell. I had offered him a glass of Madeira.
Excellent, John. An excellent wine. Where did you get it, Abby? Some of John Hancock's contraband treasure, the wine of liberty.
Now, Mr. Sewell, no politics, please.
Oh, nonsense, my dear Abby. I may be a king's man, but my political convictions do not extend to smuggled Madeira. In a vintage so fine, I'll drink to either party.
I wish I could view our present troubles so lightly, Jonathan.
Alas, and the king's tax on Hancock's wine. That's an abomination, eh?
It is an unjust tax. I hate injustice.
Oh, John, my friend. When will you ever learn to unbend a little? Can't you teach him, Abigail?
I not care to try, Mr. Sewell. I not want to try, sir.
No, perhaps I can make the attempt. We'll see. I have news for you, John.
Yes, I thought you might, by the gleam in your eye. Abby, would you mind?
I was about to see to the children, John. Good night, Mr. Sewell. You'll not succeed. My husband does not bend easily.
We'll see. Good night, dear lady. You'll kiss little Abby good night for me, and John Quincy, too?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, John?
Well, Jonathan?
I won't beat about the bush, my old friend. I've been sent by Governor Bernard and Lieutenant Governor Hutchinson to offer you the post of Advocate General in the King's Admiralty Court.
What?
Now, don't bridle and draw back like an offended maiden. It means your fortune is made, man.
It means I should sit in judgment on my friends who have avoided the king's tax and grow rich upon their substance.
It means new friends, John. Powerful friends. Friends who have the ear of the king himself. Who are your precious friends now? These so-called Sons of Liberty, penniless adventurers.
John Hancock, James Otis, Dr. Warren, Ben Eades of the Gazette, my cousin Samuel. Some of the most substantial men in the colony.
Oh, Sam Adams is a dockside demagogue, a tattered ne'er-do-well troublemaker. The others? Well, exceptions, perhaps, that prove the rule. You are an ambitious lawyer, John. Your future lies with the King's party. It's court against country. The court will win.
Jonathan, you too are my friend. I have none closer or more dear. So you must have known my answer would be no. I cannot change my political principles.
But His Excellency called that point to my attention most emphatically. He told me to tell you that your political convictions will be no obstacle whatever. He offers the post simply because you are the best man available. He told me to say that he depends on your
It was a bribe, and I knew it. An attempt to break the ranks of the royal governor's opponents. But I couldn't accuse my old friend of trying to bribe me, or of supposing I could be bribed. We talked late and long. He made me promise to consult my wife. And when he had gone, I found Abby waiting at our bedroom window. I told her, and she said,
Yes, John, it is a bribe. Of course it is.
A tempting bribe, a good price, easy to take.
Yes, and there would be other honors to come. You could be Chief Justice, Sir John Adams. The court's party fears you, John.
Do you want me to take the post, my dear?
Are you testing me, John? You know that's not necessary. Just as I know you'll always refuse such offers. John... Oh, John, doesn't it make you proud to be so feared by the great ones, by the King's men?
It does. It does indeed. And to be loved by such a wise and lovely lady as well, there's a gift no king could offer.
My, Jonathan was wrong. You can unbend on the proper occasions. Listen, the watchman must be very late.
12 o'clock and a clear night of stars.
All is well, but a storm is brewing in Boston town. A blow to put the stars out.
12 o'clock and all is well.
Somehow, Abby, I'm afraid I rejoice in the coming storm. And I hate it, too.
'Twill clear the air. There'll be brighter stars ahead, I think.
All men knew that trouble was near in Massachusetts. There were thousands of British soldiers quartered upon us in Boston, and the King's taxes threatened the livelihood of every man. A powder keg. Yes, a powder keg with a long fuse. Among the Sons of Liberty, there were those who counseled moderation. I was one of them. And there were the Firebrands. My cousin Sam was their leader. I remember he said,
John, we're proud of you to stand fast and refuse a certain fortune as you did.
But how did you know? Jonathan Sewell told no one but me.
The Sons of Liberty have ways of knowing. We have informants in the very council chamber of the governor. Your loyalty will be rewarded, cousin, in the future.
If I thought of rewards, I'd have taken the post. And if you take my advice, Sam, you'll move more slowly. If violence must come, let it not be said that we began the open quarrel.
Tread softly, John. Walk quietly under the yoke.
I say but this. Break no law. The law is my guide.
The law, yes, and your stiff-necked, stubborn honesty. I admire you, John, but we're different as night and day. You ask me to hold back the inevitable thunder, to stem the very tide of great events. The Sons of Liberty are prepared to seize the tide at the flood and move on to freedom and glory. Now we wait upon events, to be sure. But perhaps we can shape events a little, or more than a little. The flood tide, cousin, is almost here. The time to tread softly has passed.
The life of Boston in our day moved to a pleasing music, the music of bells. The bells of Christ's Church, of New North, the King's Chapel, of the brick church with its cockerel weather vane. They told us the time, and the times were out of joint. They called us to prayer, and we prayed, often and long for peace. But now the bells were to make a new sound, a savage sound. Alarm bells ringing in the night as for fire, for the flood tide had come, as Cousin Sam had said it would. In London, Lord North, the King's First Minister, had sneered, "The drunken ragamuffins of a vociferous mob are in America exalted into equal importance with men of judgment, morals, and property. I can never acquiesce in the absurd opinion that all men are equal." And in Boston, a customs informer was tarred and feathered. In Boston, a vociferous mob of ragamuffins threw snowballs and stones through the windows of a tax collector. He seized a musket, fired upon them. They fell back, and in the cleared space, a lad lay dead. For little Chris Snyder's funeral, all the bells rang out. Samuel Adams saw to that. In a waterfront rope walk at lunch hour, soldiers and workmen exchanged obscenities, and unforgivable blows were struck. The next morning, the day being March 5th in the year 1770, a poster appeared, tacked up in a dockside tavern. It read, "This is to inform the rebellious people in Boston that the soldiers in the 14th and 29th Regiments are determined to join together and defend themselves against all who shall oppose them. Signed, the soldiers of the 14th and 29th Regiments." Who posted that notice? Was it truly the soldiers? Or might it have been that mysterious gentleman in the red cloak and white wig who was everywhere on that fatal day? No one will ever know. But as night falls, strolling crowds of Liberty boys begin to fill the streets. A barber's apprentice insults a sentinel. The sentinel gives chase, whacks the boy with the butt of his musket. Snowballs and ice begin to fill the air. Then oyster shells, sharp, dangerous as razor blades. As if on signal, the fire bells break out.
Kill the soldiers! Kill them up for that! Kill him! Kill him! Come on, boys! Lobster, pull fire, lobster!
The man in the red cloak and the white wig is everywhere, urging on the rioters. Captain Preston, commanding the guard, brings 7 men to rescue the sentinel. The crowd presses in. Crispus Attucks swings a big birch club. One of the soldiers is hit by an oyster shell, slips on the ice, falls. His gun goes off in the air. There is no order to fire. But this is the high tide. Here is the powder and here is the flint. This is the inevitable hour, and the spark is struck. Three were dead. 2 were mortally wounded. Quickly, the red-clad regiments poured into the streets, bayonets gleaming in the moonlight. The alarm bells ceased as suddenly as they had begun. By 3 in the morning, Boston was quiet again. Next day, I found Cousin Sam and Ben Eades, editor of the Gazette, waiting for me at my office.
John, we need your advice, as ever it seems.
It may be too late now, Ben. I see the streets are filling up with armed men. Where is Captain Preston? Where are the soldiers of the guard?
In the stone jail. They've been charged with murder, but with the farmers coming in...
The prisoners are in danger, yes. Cousin, you'll not carry this thing further.
No, John, enough is enough. The farm lads are flocking in looking for trouble.
Tell them to go home. And tell me this. Who was the man in the red cloak and white wig, Sam?
Cousin, I'll thank you not to peer down your great nose at me in that fashion. This is my only cloak, and it's black, rusty, and threadbare enough, as you see.
Ben, see who that is. Look through the window.
That's Mr. Forrester, the man they call the Irish Infant, a friend of Captain Preston.
Let him in, Ben.
Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams. Oh, thanks be to God and his angels I found you in. Man, 'tis a terrible thing, a terrible thing.
What is your business, Mr. Forrester?
I come from Captain Preston, sir. He's in great danger. He and his men will be tried at once for murder itself, and there's no one to defend them. No one, sir. All the great Tory lawyers have refused the case for fear of their precious necks. Captain Preston wants you to defend him. As God is my witness, John Adams, these men are innocent. They but saved their own skins in the night.
Yes, they are innocent. They acted in self-defense.
John, you can't do this.
I can, and I will.
You're a good man, John Adams. Sure, there's greatness in your soul.
John, my friend and my cousin, you'll ruin your career. By refusing the governor's bribe, you lost all royal favor. By doing this thing, you'll be cursed forever by the men of your own belief. You risk your very life. Don't do it, John.
The men are innocent. They cannot be denied a defender. Mr. Eades.
Yes, John.
In the Gazette today, you will kindly announce that John Adams will defend the king's soldiers now lying in jail under capital charges. Come along, Forrester. We'll talk with the prisoners. Our first move was to get a postponement of trial, to let the passions of my fellow townsmen cool a bit. Young Josiah Quincy was my associate in the case, and together we had little trouble freeing Captain Preston. There had clearly been no order to fire that night. But the 8 private soldiers, that was indeed a different matter.
Listen to this, Mr. Adams, one of the 94 depositions collected by your cousin Sam. On the night of March 5th, I, Samuel Atwood, met 10 or 12 soldiers armed with drawn cutlasses and bayonets. Your opponent asked if they meant to murder people. They answered, yes, by gad, root, and branch, and we'll start with you.
Enough, Josiah. 94 witnesses and 94 liars.
I doubt that all of them will venture into court, sir.
A great number of them will. We must scour the streets and docks for men who will tell the truth. We must prepare to refute each deposition of the 94. We must find honest men, if such there be. We found 100 Bostonians calm enough to remember what actually happened that night. When the trial began, we had 96 against us. One by one, they took the stand, day in, day out. Lying.
I say Private Kilroy's bayonet was thick with dried blood up to 3 inches from the point. 3 inches of blood. I saw it with my own eyes. 3 bloody inches.
And that, one way or another, was what they all said. Then our turn came. Hour by hour, the truth piled up on the word of witness after witness. Finally, Dr. Jeffries took the stand, the physician who had attended Patrick Carr, one of the slain citizens in his dying hours. Josiah Quincy was examining.
Now, Dr. Jeffries, you visited young Carr, the innocent bystander, after he was injured.
I did, Mr. Quincy, yes.
What did you say to him?
After dressing his wounds, I advised him never again to go into quarrels and riots.
And what did he say?
He agreed I had a good case there. He told me also that he was a native of Ireland, that he'd frequently seen mobs and soldiers called upon to quell them. He said more.
Go on, Doctor.
He said that never in all his life had he seen soldiers bear so much abuse before they fired upon a mob.
Well, there you are, you see.
Order! Order, please. Proceed, Mr. Quincy.
How long did Patrick Carr live after he received his wound?
10 days, almost to the minute.
And when had you a last conversation with him?
About 4 o'clock in the afternoon of the day he died.
And what did this dying boy say to you?
He said, I forgive the man who shot me, whoever he is. As God will judge me soon, that soldier fired only to save himself from certain death.
And then, with a prayer in my heart that our months of toil might have just reward, I heard the presiding judge declare,
Mr. John Adams will sum up the cause of the defendants.
May it please your honors, and you, gentlemen of the jury. I am for the prisoners at the bar, and shall apologize for it only in the words of a great Italian jurist, the Marquis of Beccaria. If I can be but the instrument of preserving one life, his blessing upon my head shall be a sufficient consolation to me for the contempt of all mankind. As the prisoners stand before you for their lives, it may be proper to recollect with what temper the law requires that we should proceed to this trial, that the spirit of the law upon such occasions is conformable to humanity, to common sense and feeling. Place yourselves in the situation of Kilroy or the sentry, with the fire bells ringing, and you know well there is no fire, the people shouting and making the mob whistle, as they call it, and crying, "Kill them, kill them," and heaving snowballs, oyster shells, clubs, heavy birch sticks. Consider yourselves in this situation, and then judge if a reasonable man would not consider they were going to kill him. The law reads, "He who on an assault retreats to the wall beyond which he can go no further before he kills the other is judged to act upon unavoidable necessity."
Phew. How long has he been talking now?
Since 11 o'clock yesterday morning. It's 4 o'clock almost now. Nearly 12 hours yesterday and today.
How does it look?
I think he'll get him off. He's a fine man.
Oh, he's a great man. Well, let's see if we can get inside again to hear him finish up. He can't talk much longer now.
To use the words of Algernon Sidney, the law no passion can disturb. 'Tis void of desire and fear, lust and anger. 'Tis written reason, retaining some measure of the divine perfection. It commands that which is good and punishes evil in all, whether rich or poor, high or low. 'Tis death, inexorable, inflexible. So Sidney wrote. The law here, on the one hand, is inexorable to the cries and lamentations of these prisoners. On the other, it is deaf. Deaf as an adder to the clamors of the populace. Gentlemen of the jury, to your candor and justice, I submit the prisoners and their cause.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
And what is your verdict?
William Wims, James Hartigan, William Macaulay, Hugh White, William Warren, and John Carroll, not guilty. Matthew Kilroy and Hugh Montgomery, not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter.
Your Honor, on behalf of the two defendants, Kilroy and Montgomery, proved guilty of manslaughter, I ask the benefit of clergy.
It is granted, Mr. Adams. They will be set free after they've been branded in the thumb with fire. It is our usage that this be done at once. The bailiff will prepare the fire and the iron.
The court will please remain in order.
Well, Abby, it's over. Over and won. Over and done.
I'm proud of you, John.
I did what I had to do. But what now? My day in the courts of this colony is over. Would you like to be a poor farmer's wife, Abby?
I'd be quite content. But I don't believe that would be necessary. You won a greater victory than you suppose, my dear.
I saved the lives of 8 innocent men. That's enough. I made 12 good men and true see the right and declare it. That's quite enough.
But you did more. You won the minds and the hearts and the goodwill of the people of Massachusetts. Perhaps the people are wiser than you think, John. They'll not make you suffer for having upheld their own law so well.
And by God's grace and her own wisdom, Abby was right. A few years later, I wrote in my diary, "There is a new and grand scene open before me, a Congress. This will be an assembly of the wisest men upon the continent who are Americans in principle." I had been elected to that Congress by the people of Massachusetts. And the bells of Boston rang in celebration as we set out for Philadelphia, with Cousin Samuel and me reunited again in the great cause of liberty, and on the cushions of a fine coach. Sam, that's a fine red cloak you're wearing.
You like it, cousin? 'Twas given me just last week by the Sons of Liberty. They thought I might well appear less shabby than usual when we meet with the Virginian grandees.
'Tis most becoming. My, silk stockings. And golden knee buckles, too. But it's the cloak I most admire. You're quite sure it is a new one, cousin?
Oh, yes, cousin, quite sure. You see, I always wanted a red cloak.
And a white wig, Sam?
To be sure, John, I have it in my trunk. It's new enough. Drive more slowly, boy. The people wish to see us.
And to round off the story, I must tell you that we made our first stop at Falmouth, where I called upon Jonathan Sewell, for he was still my friend.
John, I had thought you were won over to the King's party when you defended those soldiers, but now...
Now there's no turning back until the end.
The end can be most unpleasant, John.
I've never avoided unpleasantness in the pursuit of principle.
No, you haven't. With you, John, honesty is a disease.
Perhaps. But those 8 soldiers are glad I'm ailing in such a manner.
This time, old friend, you've tackled a case you can never win. I saw you in that carriage with Sam Adams. Both of you are driving hell-bent towards a gallows tree.
That may be true. But I have crossed over my river. I've passed my Rubicon. I will never change. Swim or sink, survive or perish, I am with my country from this day on.
Our thanks to Alan Hewitt, who played John Adams. Mr. Hewitt, a featured player in the Broadway hit Call Me Madam, replaced Dennis King as our star tonight because of the sudden illness of Mr. King. Others in the cast were Miss Brooke Byron, Martin Blaine, Peter Capell, Jack Edwards, Gavin Gordon, Ronald Long, Richard Newton, and Sidney Smith. Our music is conducted by Milton Cadams and composed by Alan Shulman. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen to American Portraits next week when we will present a portrait of the great Southern leader Stonewall Jackson with one of Broadway's outstanding actors, Mr. Kent Smith, in the starring role. Tonight's program was the third in a series of 8 American portraits produced and directed by D. Engelbach and written by George H. Faulkner. It was presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC. National Broadcasting Company presents the fourth in a series of 8 radio dramas by George H. Faulkner, entitled American Portraits. Tonight's star from Broadway and motion pictures, Kent Smith. This is a portrait of General Thomas Jonathan Jackson, commander of the 2nd Corps in the Army of Northern Virginia, Confederate States of America. And men will tell their children, when all other memories fade, how they fought with Stonewall Jackson in the old Stonewall Brigade. I look upon war, said old Jack, as the sum of all evils. Yet at the call of duty, he waged war with a genius unparalleled in the history of arms. We must think of the living, he wrote, and those who are to come after us, and see that by God's blessing we transmit to them the freedom we have ourselves inherited. Time as we begin, quite a good many years ago, when the century was young. Place, the shaded banks of a quiet stream somewhere in Virginia, anywhere in Virginia. A man and a boy have been fishing. They're resting now under the shade of the trees. The man, we can see, is quite elderly, but of distinguished appearance, despite a battered old gray hat full of feathered fishhooks. He might be a judge or perhaps a clergyman. The boy is young, about 12, very eager.
But, Granddad, do you mean to say old Stonewall was a better soldier than Teddy Roosevelt, even?
Why, boy, there's just no comparison. Teddy's still an amateur. Old Jack was the greatest professional soldier that ever lived. You still planning to go to VMI, son?
Oh, you bet I am.
Well, when you get there, you'll study Jackson's campaigns, just as they do up at West Point.
How he fooled the Yankees over in Shenandoah Valley.
That was his masterpiece, the Great Valley Campaign. That and his flanking march at Chancellorsville. Over in the valley, boy, Jackson whipped 4 federal armies, fought 5 battles in 30 days, won them all, marched 400 miles between fights, and he left those Yankee generals so mixed up they didn't know their headquarters from their hindquarters.
I guess he must have moved mighty fast.
Like lightning, son. Foot cavalry, they called us, because we covered so much ground.
Well, if he marched around so much like that, why'd they call him Stonewall?
Now, son, I've told you that story 20 times if I've told it once.
I never get tired of it.
Sure.
Honest, I don't.
Well, then, as you very well know, it happened at the first battle of Bull Run. Our brigade, the 1st Virginia, was formed along the crest of Henry Hill near Manassas. General Jackson was sitting on his horse, Little Sorrel, close by, talking with his aide, Lieutenant H.H. Lee.
It's bad, General. Very bad. See yonder? Lee's brigade is broken. They're running back from the swamp. The Mississippi troops are running, sir.
Yes, I can see that, Lieutenant. But we'll stand fast here.
Look, sir, that horseman. It's General B himself.
Yes. Perhaps he needs advice.
General Jackson, we're beaten back, sir. We're defeated. Crushed.
Very well, General. May I suggest that you rally your men behind our line?
But how do you expect to stop them?
We'll give them the bayonet. Lieutenant Lee.
Yes, sir?
Tell the colonels of this brigade that the enemy is almost upon us. When their heads are seen above the hill, let the whole line rise. Move forward with a shout and trust to the bayonet. I'm tired of this long-range work.
With that, boy, General B took heart, turned his horse about, and rode down into the midst of his broken troops. His horse was killed beneath him, but he leaped to his feet, shouting,
Men, look! On the crest of the hill! There's Jackson's brigade standing behind you like a stone wall! There stands Jackson! Rally with the Virginians! Rally!
A moment later, General B fell to the ground, mortally wounded. But he had given an immortal name to a great leader of men. The next night, in bivouac on the victorious field of First Manassas, General Stonewall Jackson wrote to his wife.
My dear Mariana, yesterday we fought a great battle and gained a great victory, for which all the glory is due to God alone, whilst great credit is due to other parts of our gallant army. God made my brigade more instrumental than any other in repulsing the main attack. This is for your information only. Say nothing about it. Let others speak praise, not myself.
You see, son, old Jack was a strongly religious man, and I want you to keep that in mind.
Oh, I shall, sir.
He lived by the New Testament, and he fought by the Old, so we used to say.
What did old Jack look like, Granddad?
He didn't look like much, lad. Sort of a brown all-over man, you might say. Scotch-Irish, like your mother's folk.
I bet you men were real scared of General Jackson, I'll bet.
No, we loved him, boy. And that's God's honest truth. Oh, he was stern, and he was secretive. He could be cold and harsh as a winter gale, and the next minute as gentle as a woman in love. We officers on his staff soon learned to expect him to act, well, contrary-wise. For instance, he always liked to march at what he called early dawn. I remember one spring morning in 1863, with the first touch of day hardly visible.
Captain Douglas? Where's Captain Douglas? Dabney, Dr. McGuire, Lieutenant Smith. Jim. You, Jim.
Yes, sir. You called me, General?
Certainly I called you. Perhaps you could tell me what the gentlemen of my staff are doing.
Well, I reckon they're still sleeping, sir, excepting Captain Douglas. He over with General A.P. Hill's folks, like you told him. Here he comes now.
Good morning, Captain Douglas.
Good morning, sir.
You have a report from General Hill? He's ready to march.
His staff is at breakfast, sir. But the general, well, sir, he's not awake as yet.
Not awake. He was ordered to move his division out at 4, leading our column. You have a watch, Captain Douglas?
Of course, sir.
What time is it?
3 minutes past 4 o'clock, sir.
Here. You will kindly examine my own watch. What time does it indicate?
The same, sir.
Plus 10 seconds. Captain Douglas, you will return to the headquarters of General A.P. Hill's division. Awaken him, if necessary. Ask on my authority to see his watch. If it agrees with my own and yours, you will instruct General Hill to turn over his command to Brigadier General Branch. At once.
Yes, sir. Very well, sir.
Morning, Douglas.
Morning, Major.
Ah, Major Dabney, at last. Where's Dr. McGuire?
Oh, he'll be here any minute, sir. My. A hot breakfast. Jim, you're a wonder.
Major Dabney.
Yes, sir?
You slept well, I trust.
Excellently well, General. I'm feeling quite refreshed.
Then you will require no breakfast. Neither shall I. Nor will the other officers of my staff. We're 5 minutes late right now. Jim?
But General, sir, she already nice and hot.
Sweep that stuff off the stove, Jim. Dump it. On the ground with it, Jim.
Yes, sir. My, oh, my.
Come along, Major. We have much to do. Orderly! Orderly! Where are the horses? You! Come
Good morning, Jim. Breakfast ready?
No breakfast, Dr. McGuire. My, oh, my.
No breakfast?
Not nary a bit nohow. General's orders, sir.
Oh, up on his ear again, eh? Must say you're cheerful about it, boy.
Well, I had my breakfast, sir. Doctor.
What is it, Jim?
Action ahead, Doctor. Real action. Show is shooting.
If you know that, you know more than I do. How do you know, Jim?
The general, sir. He been praying in his tent nearly all night. Just praying and praying.
And so, gentlemen, a little fasting now and then is good for active, healthy men. Am I not right, Dr. McGuire?
I'm a staff surgeon, General. I know little about diet.
Hungry, McGuire?
I could eat General Hooker, Yankee boots and all.
We'll see what we can do for you at the next halt.
General Jackson, if you please.
Yes, Captain Douglas?
General Grant, sir, he asked me to inquire where we're going.
We are moving towards Hooker's Union Army. Our route is known to General Lee and to myself, and to no one else, save God. Gentlemen, if this old coat of mine knew the roads we were taking, I would burn it with fire.
Captain! Oh, please, sir, please!
I see we must halt, gentlemen.
Halt! Ma'am, you will kindly get out of the road. This is General Jackson.
Oh, General Jackson, please, sir.
There now, Douglas. Don't bully the woman. You gentlemen ride on. I'll see what she wants. Dr. McGuire, please stay with me. Now, ma'am, what can I do for you?
My Johnny. Will he pass this way? I must see my Johnny.
Your son, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And he's in the Army?
Oh, yes, for 2 years now.
What regiment?
The 5th Virginia, sir.
Part of my old brigade, McGuire. General Colston's now. Ma'am, unless I'm much mistaken, Colston's infantry will begin to pass this fork in 5 minutes. The 5th Virginia should reach here in less than 10 minutes. You'll see your Johnny then, I trust.
Oh, thank you, sir. How can I thank you? It's been more than a year.
There, ma'am. Give your thanks to God. Dr. McGuire, stay here with her, if you please. See that she finds her boy. Your home is nearby, ma'am?
Yes, just beyond the fork.
Give the lad leave to stay with his mother until morning, Doctor. And you may report for breakfast up ahead in 15 minutes.
Well, boy, he was like that. Hard as granite one minute, the next soft as that fine morning in May so long ago when we rode toward death. Reticent he was, and aloof, but courteous always. Modest, shy, but totally fearless. Sure of himself always in the field, and sure of his God in a humble way. That night we camped before Chancellorsville, some 60,000 of us under Lee and Jackson against 125,000 Union troops under Hooker and Sedgwick.
Captain Douglas.
Yes, sir?
You will ride with a message to General Lee. Tell him that, upon further reconnaissance, I withdraw my opinion of this morning. The general's right. We must concentrate upon Hooker rather than upon Sedgwick's corps. Tell him that Federal crossings have been observed at Ely's Ford and Germanna on the river. Await his reply.
Yes, sir. General Jackson, sir.
Yes, Douglas?
It's growing colder, sir. Shouldn't you wear your cape? Shall I get it for you from the baggage?
Oh, the general done give that old cape away, Captain. He throw it over Lieutenant Smith under yon tree there.
Jim! Young Smith gave me that cloak. I've given it back. That's all. Get along to Lee, Captain. You've a hard ride ahead.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Jim, where's my Bible?
Right here, General. I had it all ready.
You may open to the book of Joshua, chapter 10, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Read what has been written, Jim.
So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear them not, for I have delivered them unto thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and the Lord discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter.
Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly. Let it be so once more, O Lord. Let it be so with me once more upon the morrow. As it was in the valley, O Lord God of hosts, so let it come about again, if it be thy will, if it be thy holy will.
Did General Lee always do just what General Jackson said, Granddad?
No, hardly that. But he did trust Jackson's judgment more than that of his other generals. Later, on the night before the Battle of Chancellorsville, General Lee and General Jackson held a council of war.
We are agreed, then, to attack Hooker. The question is, where?
General Lee, sir.
General Stewart, what says the cavalry?
I just had a report from Fitzhugh Lee, scouting, sir, on our left flank. He tells me that Hooker's right is in the air, almost completely unprotected. His breastworks face south, sir, and south only.
Jeb, are there roads by which we could send out a flanking force all across the Union front and unobserved? I doubt it. Yes, General Jackson. There is a road, sir. I sent Hotchkiss earlier today to find out. There's a forest road, well hidden, used only to cart iron ore to Welford's furnace. I have a map, and I have Mr. Welford himself to serve as guide, if need be. Excellent. Let's take a look at that map, General. Good. Jackson, what do you propose to do? I would go around. Here, sir. Yes? Now, here's the westward limit of Hooker's fortification. I see. The hidden road comes out here, beyond his line. I could turn him, sir. I could swallow him up. If you were not observed, General. I shall come unto him suddenly. Yes, you usually do. With what force do you propose to make this movement? With my entire corps, General. If they catch you extended along that road before you can wheel into front, they'll crush both of us, Jackson. Completely, finally. It's that, or retreat again, sir. Very well, then. So be it.
Boy, do you see the terrible beauty of it? The audacity, the controlled daring, the quick brain behind the strong will, the joyous heart.
Oh, gee willikers, sure. It's like I read in a book. He was risking all.
He was proposing to order nearly 30,000 men, 15 brigades, to move out of a battlefront already formed and fortified into a long, thin column. Then to march them 10 miles to the west along a narrow wilderness road under the eyes of an alert enemy not 3 miles away. And he succeeded, boy. He succeeded. On the next afternoon, he was deployed right spang across the Federal flank, every man in position. Over the way, the Union troops were at ease, their arms stacked, preparing an evening meal. Watching them from a hill with his division commanders, Jackson took out his watch.
Gentlemen, it's 5:15 o'clock. 2 hours of daylight left at the most. I believe we can go forward. Please signal Major Blackford to sound the charge.
I bet they ran. I bet they ran like all get out. Those Yankees.
They were brave men, son, but he had come unto them suddenly. They ran. They had to run. They were overwhelmed, rolled up, surprised, discomfited before Israel. But their numbers were very great, and they were brave, and they rallied. Then darkness fell in the forest, and then, boy...
Yes, Granddad. I know. I know what happened. Old Stonewall was shot down.
By his own men. By his own men! A North Carolina company firing in the dark. He was hit in the left arm badly, in the right hand. A tree branch struck his head. He fell fainting from Little Sorrel's back. 3 men, officers of his staff, sheltered him against a stream of fire with their own bodies. I was one of them, boy. I, James Parr Smith, I was one of those 3 men.
You mustn't remember so hard, Granddad Smith.
I know, son. I'm an old fool. It was so long ago. Well, somehow we got him to a dressing station. McGuire did his best. He amputated the general's arm. Jackson rallied. We thought he would live. Oh, how we prayed he might live. While Hooker retreated, beaten, all the South prayed for Thomas Jonathan Jackson. They took him back to the Chandler farm at Guinness Station. And then, 7 days after the battle...
How is he, Doctor? May I see him again now?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Jackson. Everything we could do has been done. The pneumonia, well, it's worse, very much worse.
Doctor, he's going to die.
Yes, Mrs. Jackson, very soon. You may go into him once more.
Anna.
Oh, my dear. My dear. They say you're dying.
No. You frightened my child. Death is not so near. Not so near. Where's Dr. McGuire?
I'm here, General.
Is it true, what Anna tells me?
Yes, General. It is true.
Very good. Very good. It's all right. God's will. God's holy will.
Tom. Oh, Tom, what can I do for you?
Would you... Could you read for me the Psalms?
Is there a Bible, Doctor?
Here, by his pillow.
Here. Order Hill to prepare for action. That's the infantry to the front. Major Hawks! Major Hawks! Get food to the men!
Oh, Dr. McGuire, what shall I do?
Dear lady, try to read the book. Try, for his sake. Please try.
I can't see. I can't see.
The 23rd Psalm, ma'am. You know it. Be a soldier now, too. The Lord is my shepherd.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, of the shadow of death, surely goodness and mercy, goodness and mercy will be with me. be with me.
Quiet. Listen. Listen, man.
Let us cross over the river and rest under the shade of the trees.
Gosh, Granddad, I'm sorry he died. Truly I am.
If he had lived, the story would have been different. Gettysburg would have been different. The end would have been different.
You think it would have been better, sir?
I'm not sure, Sam. I don't really know. But I know this. I threw myself between Jackson and death in that wilderness grove as the gun spat flame in the night. But still, he died. It was I, Lieutenant Jim Smith, staff of the 2nd Corps. It was I over whom he threw that great cape as I lay sleeping in the cold on the night before Chancellorsville. But he died. And the South died too. We lost, boy. We lost. We lost.
But, Granddad, it was so very long ago.
Yes, so very long ago. We must let him rest with all the past in the cemetery at Lexington. As it was said of another hero, there, through the coming ages, when his sword is rust, and his deeds in classic pages, mindful of her trust, shall Virginia, bending lowly, still a ceaseless vigil holy, keep above his dust.
You have been listening to There Stands Jackson, with Kent Smith as General Jackson. The narrator, Lieutenant James Power Smith, was played by Ed Begley, and his grandson by Ivan Curry. Other members of the cast were Bill Adams, Martin Blaine, Arthur Carney, Ronald Long, Leora Thatcher, Cynthia Stone, and Maurice Ellis, who is currently appearing in 17, the smash hit at Broadhurst Theater in New York. The orchestra is conducted by Milton Katims with a special score composed by Alan Shulman. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen to American Portraits next week, when we will present Frederick Warlock in The Stepping Stones, a dramatic character study of Elder William Brewster, leader of the first Pilgrim settlers. American Portraits is produced and directed by D. Engelbach and written by George H. Faulkner. Tonight's script was presented through the courtesy of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. There Stands Jackson came to you from our studios in New York City. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC. The National Broadcasting Company presents the fifth in a series of 8 radio dramas by George H. Faulkner entitled American Portraits. Tonight stars Frederick Warlock and Martin Blaine. little more than 320 years ago, in the late autumn of 1620, a band of cold, sick, hungry, and desperate men gathered on the deck of a ship riding at anchor off Cape Cod. There, in the chill bay winds, they signed the first American Charter of Civil Liberties and Civil Responsibilities, the document now known as the Mayflower Compact. This is the portrait of the man chiefly responsible for that document, Elder William Brewster, religious leader of the Mayflower Passengers.
I am John Alden, aforetime a stave cutter and barrel maker to the thirsty townsfolk of Southampton in England, and more recently a hero in the pages of your own history books. I am that John Alden who followed the gleam in the eyes of a handsome girl westward across the ocean sea to find joy for my heart, work for my hands, and peace for my soul. But this is not my story, nor the story of Priscilla, my good wife. It is the tale of that one amongst all the Mayflower Company who best deserved the name they chose for themselves, the name of Saint. He was Master William Brewster, elder to the exiles, wise leader, and the second father for such poor lost sheep as John Alden. The story begins in the council chamber of an English king, James I, bookish but silly-witted scion of Mary, Queen of Scots, sometime in the year 1605, when I myself was first young.
I had thought, my Lord Cecil, that the popish rebels had offered us a sufficient disturbance. Now you report further mischief. 'Tis obscure, you say?
Yes, these are little men, Your Majesty. Lacking in numbers, quite deficient in wealth, position, or power.
Yet they are heretics. What is the nature of their heresy?
They are called Brownists, Your Majesty, after their first preacher, who has since recanted his sedition. It's the whim of these people to suppose that religion should be free of royal power, that each man should be permitted to worship God after his own manner.
Monstrous, monstrous. Such a doctrine agrees well with monarchy as God with the devil.
By report, Your Majesty, these fantastic sectaries preach as readily against the crown as against Satan himself.
Yet you say they're not important.
Such is my belief. They're most of them poor men, tinkers, tailors, shopkeepers, and such. Their teaching is too clearly ridiculous to win credence even among the commonalty.
Your counsel, then?
Moderation. A few clipped ears in each congregation, as we find them out. A forehead branded here and there. No drastic steps.
Nonsense, my dear Cecil. These mad nobodies challenge the divine right of kings. My own proven doctrine, the work of my life. I will make them conform themselves, or I will harry them out of the land, or do worse to them.
Among the unimportant little people was Master William Brewster, postmaster and innkeeper. The two offices were as one in our day, at Scrooby in a far corner of Nottinghamshire. With Richard Clifton and John Robinson, Miss Brewster had formed a secret congregation of Brownists. When word of the king's purpose reached the elders,
it was bound to come to this, or England's no longer a home for honest men. I vow we must never submit to this lordly and tyrannous power. What say you, Master Brewster?
That we are like to have small choice in the matter, Richard. The power is too great.
Oh, why should God have given England to the devil's very nephew?
Perhaps to test the strength of our own convictions, my good friend. This great gilly on the throne suffers in his mind from the canker of kings, a belief in force. We must summon up an answerable courage.
But what shall we do, brother?
Go on as before. Worship God and trust in him. Meet in secret as before. Love each one the other, as before.
But must we not prepare?
For exile? Yes. Yes, I fear we must. When the blow falls, we must be ready.
There's been talk of Holland. 'Tis said a man may call his soul his own in the lowland cities.
That is true, or true enough as our world goes. I have made inquiries in Amsterdam. I have friends there. Mary? Oh, Mary?
Yes, William?
Wife, would you open the door? We have visitors.
Very well, husband.
The king's men?
It may be so, though I think not. I heard no horses.
Why, 'tis but young Will Bradford come to join us.
Master Broocher, good masters, I have news of great evil. Help me, sir.
Oh, here, lad, sit ye down. Now compose yourself, my boy.
I have ridden and walked and run from Lincoln Town this night, masters, to warn you. In the market, I heard it. We're undone. We're delivered up to the devil.
Quietly, Will. Now, what is this word you have for us?
We are betrayed. The names of all our congregation are in the hands of the king's lieutenant. He rides to Scrooby on the morrow. They will take us up, every one. And 'tis said we shall be put to torture.
So, it has come sooner than I thought. Brothers, it is God's will that we leave England.
William, the children. Little Patience and the baby not yet christened.
We'll christen her this night, Mary. And we'll give her a name to match the temper of the times. We'll call the baby Fear.
And so the Lord's free people fled, first into hiding in England and then into Holland. In Amsterdam and Leiden, grinding poverty was their lot, with hard labor at unfamiliar tasks, the burden of all, even the smallest children. Under the lash of necessity, their thoughts turned little by little over the years toward the new world. And it was William Brewster who pressed them forward in this new adventure, as Bradford was to write one day.
A great hope and inward zeal they had of laying some foundation in those remote parts of the world. Yea, though they should be but stepping stones unto others for the performing of so great a work.
In Leiden, the elder had turned printer for his daily bread. Certain tracts published by him offended the authorities, both Dutch and English. And so he alone of all the company was still a fugitive in the year 1620. Friends at home in England offered him refuge. At the door of the room in London where he lay hidden,
Come in, good friend. Why, 'tis a lass. What seek you, daughter?
You are William Brewster, elder to the Holland Company?
Aye, by God's grace.
I am Priscilla Mullins. My father has sent me.
But I was told he would seek me out.
'Twas too dangerous, he said. He was being followed.
You have a message, then?
Yes. A ship is being chartered.
At last.
You must make your way to Southampton, where many of us await your coming. You must go to the sign of the Lion's Head near the docks. The innkeeper will hide you.
The ship, daughter. What is it called?
The Mayflower.
The Mayflower. Why, lass, 'tis the very name of hope.
Some days later in Southampton, I was at work in the dockside shack I used for my cooper's trade.
Young man, dost love the Lord thy God?
What say you?
Art saved, young sir?
Why, old man, 'tis a strange question to pop out so bare among my barrels. I've ne'er given the matter great thought.
So you are not one of us. I had hoped, but no matter. Do you Love justice, young Cooper.
Aye, though I've seen little of such like commodity hereabouts. If you seek justice, master, I'd know not where to send you for it, not in all England.
I seek refuge from the injustice of the king, from the king's bailiff hard on my heels but moments ago. Hide me, lad. Hide me quickly and turn them away.
And lose my ears? Shall I lose my life as could be? Hardly, master. What have you done?
I have printed the truth. Look at me, lad. Do you see evil? Do you see villainy? Look into my eyes.
I saw gentleness and light. Such goodness as in all my young life I had never known. Even now I could not tell you the why of it. But I knew I must do this man's bidding despite the king's cruel law. Again I heard him implore.
Hide me, lad. Find me a refuge or I shall be taken. My life will be forfeit, and I still have work to do. Hide me in God's name.
In your own name, old man. God's a stranger to me. I must be daft, but come back here. Quickly. Into this great hogshead. Oh, it's empty enough. Hand up and... Be still now. And I'll lie my ears off if they come. In thy name or the devil's. Come in.
Are you Alden the Cooper?
Aye.
Speak truth, Cooper, in the king's name. Hast seen aught of a small, hunched-over man with a grey beard, a brown waistcoat, and a look of hypocritical holiness on his face?
That I have, save I saw not his face. He passed by not 3 minutes since, and in great haste.
Which way, Cooper?
Out from the docks, up into the town. He was clutching at his breast as if in pain from much running.
If you lie, Cooper, you shall pay upon the rack. Come along, you lazy oafs. We'll take him yet.
There, old man, I've earned me a fool's reward. Let me help you out.
Well, I've been in tighter places, lad, these past few years. I take it my first words did mystify your ears.
Aye, 'twas a strange encounter. Dost love the Lord thy God? Who can answer that?
Some of us can. We have many secret partisans on this coast. 'Twas a manner of password, a countersign. Lad, I am William Brewster, lately a printer by trade.
And I'm John Alden Cooper.
Well, we're well met, surely, but we must part right soon.
Elder Brewster? Oh, Master, I saw the soldiers...
Priscilla, lass, where's your father?
Well, he waits upon your coming at the place we'd agreed. He dared not to leave, so he sent me in search of you. I saw the soldiers enter here. I was afraid that...
Oh, there now, girl. I'm quite safe by the art of this young man. Priscilla Mullins, this is John Alden, who has done me a great kindness without asking why.
My service, Miss...
Why do you stare so? Elder, we should hurry. The ship leaves on the morrow.
Stay a moment. Your eyes, miss. They're like the eyes of the elder here. Are you kin?
Only in the spirit, John. We're both of the company who sail for the new world to worship as we will.
Your Brownists?
Aye. The king's enemies, boy. Though we have forgiven him.
Would you have need of a well-skilled carpenter and cooper, master?
You'd venture with us?
That I would.
But your parents, lad.
I have none. I have these 2 hands and tools to fit them. I can read and write, for my uncle taught me, and I have a mind to see this new land.
What say you, Priscilla?
Well, if we are to go out in the great dark this night to the ship, we'd need strong arms to row. This did fret my father, for he's not young or well. Let the cooper come, if he will.
From the log of the ship Mayflower, Captain Christopher Jones commanding. August the 18th, 1620. Weighed anchor. Wind fair. Course west-southwest. So we take our departure. You've heard, no doubt, that pleasant old story about Priscilla, Miles Standish, and me. Don't believe it entirely. Miles had a wife on the Mayflower. Her name was Rose, and they were devoted to each other. To Priscilla Mullins, I spoke for myself, not once, but many times. I recall one night, midway in the passage, Priscilla came on deck to escape the cold, black stench of that dreadful hold. I followed her to the rail. Priscilla.
John, you know you mustn't talk with me.
So says your father, but why? Why does Master Mullins look down his nose at me? Why?
Because you are not one of us? Oh, must I say it again?
Because I will not listen to long-winded sermons in yon foul, smothering hold? Because I cannot sing tuneless hymns about lambs and blood when I know not what they mean?
Because you blaspheme against God and you make sport of our way. Because you are profane, John Holden.
I but speak my mind. I like to laugh a bit, and I mean no harm to your people. No, hear me out, Priscilla Mullins. There are those among this ship's company who do wish harm to the saints.
What do you mean?
That mutiny's brewing with those you call outsiders. These Londoners will not long brook your elders' authority once land's in view. You see, they like not being forever outside.
But the ship is our ship by charter. Those wretched people from London, well, they have their spokesman in Master Christopher Martin.
Wretched they are and rough, and some of them are ready for evil deeds. Do but this. If you know where Master Brewer is hidden, go to him. Tell him the cooper says 'tis time for him to come forth. The winds blew and cracked their cheeks, and we buried young Billy Button at sea, the first to die. A child, Oceanus Hopkins, was born. John Howland was swept overboard and pulled himself back by a trailing halyard. A miracle, declared the saints. But there were more sinners than saints aboard that storm-racked ship. Brewster's Holland Company numbered but 41. The outsiders, mostly from London, were 63, among them being John Billington. Billington was one day to be hanged, drawn, and quartered as a murderer. When land was sighted at Cape Cod, far to the north of our purposed destination.
I tell you, mate, 'tis a bloody swindle. Is yon chill sandy spit Virginia?
It may be, for all of me.
Art daft, Ned Doty. We're far to the north. And do you know for why?
You tell me for why, Billington. 'Tis too much for my wits.
Because in Virginia these psalm-singing holy pulpit pounders would come once more under the hand of the king. They could lord it over us no longer. 'Tis a swindle, I say.
Well, can we swim to Virginia?
No. But we can take the ship and sail her there. Rob Coffin, the mate, would join with us. Well, who's to stop us? There's no law here.
Oh, there's Captain Jones's law, and he's a hard man.
Captain Shrimp? All bluster and blow. I could break him in two like this stick. I've tipped this business to a round dozen to the boulder, my lad. Now, we'll meet tonight to plan it out, while them canting hypocrites are at their prayers.
And around the one open fire in the passenger hold, another council was in progress. Huddled there against the November cold were Elder Brewster and John Carver, with Miles Standish, the little red-headed soldier, and Christopher Martin representing the outsiders, the unsanctified. Said Elder Brewster,
Captain Jones has told us that he can proceed no further to the south, lest his supplies for the return voyage give out. Now, whether he speaks truth or not, I cannot say. I, for one, am content to cast our lot here upon this coast. And you, John Carver?
'Tis agreed. We'll be further removed from the long arm of King James and his
pretty boy favorites.
Captain Standish?
'Tis all one to me, if a harbor can be found and a hill to perch a fort upon.
And you, Master Martin?
Why should I speak? My words carry no weight in this council.
It troubles me that you should feel put upon, Christopher. This grumbling ill becomes your worth and substance.
There are others who may do more than grumble.
Aye, I've heard this talk of mutiny. I fear some action must be set afoot.
Name me the traitors. I'll show them the color of action. Action is my trade.
Your advice, Captain Standish?
I'd string them up on a yardarm. So Captain Jones would do of a certainty.
No. We'll not use force. Force is the name of all we strive and suffer to conquer. Force breeds force, as maggots breed corruption. And the end of that road is ever death. No, we must try the way of reason and loving kindness. We're all Englishmen here, on this far edge of earth, and we're all children of God. We must act as brothers, or surely we shall perish ere spring moves north again.
What would you have us do then, Elder?
I have put that question most urgently in prayer, Master Carver, and my prayer has been answered. Let us draw up a compact for our governance, and in this treaty amongst ourselves, let all be equal. Let those who walk in the path of God's word accept equally those who so blindly refuse his holy light, preferring each his private darkness. Let us join together the sundered members of this small and much periled body, that we may set forth a shining example to those who will follow after us to the shores of the new world. We have need of law. Let the law be made equally for all.
This gray and sleety hour is the 11th of November, old style, in 1620. November 21st in your new calendar, 330 years ago. Before all the assembled Mayflower Company on deck, William Brewster offers his compact.
In the name of God, amen. We whose names are underwritten, the subjects of our dread sovereign Lord, King James, by the grace of God, of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, King.
Down with the Scottish lout. We'll not sign that. Never. No, James.
No,
Stuart here.
Brothers, I beg of you. 'Tis but a form of words. We're English still. This compact will be heard at home. Let us not have the Stuart princeling send a ship of war against us.
Aye, he's right.
Read on, Elder.
Quiet all. Quiet now.
We do, by these presents, solemnly and mutually, in the presence of God and of one another, covenant and combine ourselves together into a civil body politic for our better ordering and preservation.
The Lord be praised.
And by virtue hereof, to enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinances, acts, constitutions, and offices from time to time as shall be thought most meet and convenient for the general good of all the colony, unto which we promise all due submission and obedience. In witness whereof, we have hereunder subscribed our names at Cape Cod the 11th of November in the year of our Lord, 1620. Now, who will sign this compact?
Aye, John Carver.
I, William Bradford.
Aye, Miles Standish, though 'tis a great foolishness.
Now, who among the artisans will come forward? This is for all of us. Not just the Holland men, and not just the gently born. 'Tis for all of us, masters and yeomen alike. Who will come forward and sign? John Alden?
Yes, I'll sign. With all my heart, as I do love justice.
Elder Brewster.
Yes, John?
There'll be no mutiny now. You've won a great victory. You've made a great light in the world.
Victory belongs to the Lord, John. All light is his light. Time without end.
I thought you'd say that. Elder.
Yes, lad?
Could you teach me what you mean when you say such things? Could you show me this way you've chosen, this way of truth and light? I would share the peace I've seen in your eyes.
You would be one of us, John?
If you'll teach me, Master, I'll try to learn to walk your path. Though, mind you, it will not be easy work.
'Tis not an easy road, John. But I'll do my best to guide you aright. Wait, boy, where are you going?
To tell Priscilla and her father. Half our company met death in that first winter in the New World. What shall I say for them? Of those who set forth from Southampton and from Plymouth, most were brave, many were loving, a few were wise. Out of the sum of their wisdom, their human-heartedness, and their fortitude came a part of your own great American heritage. Knowingly or not, they were as stepping stones unto others for the performing of a great work, a work that's still unfinished. If the wisest of them could speak, the most gentle, the strongest of all, I think he might say,
God, what you have been given, lose it not. Push forward still in the way of the Lord's free people. Though the night be dark and the road a stony one, follow ever the path of reason and courage and love in God's name.
You have been listening to Stepping Stones, the story of Elder William Brewster, with Frederick Warlock as Brewster and Martin Blaine as John Alden. Others in the cast were Ivor Francis, Joseph Kearns, Ronald Long, Jack Manning, James Monks, Kermit Murdoch, Richard Newton, Guy Sorrell, John Stanley, Cynthia Stone, Ann Tiemann, and Lawson Zerby. Milton Cadams conducted the orchestra in an original score by Alan Shulman. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to be with us again next week when we shall present The Sword of Kentucky, the story of George Rogers Clark and the conquest of what is now the great American Middle West. Tonight's American Portrait was written by George H. Faulkner and directed by James Harvey. American Portraits is presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, heard regularly on Tuesday nights, which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC. The National Broadcasting Company, in the interest of the American system of radio, presents the sixth in a series of 8 dramas by George H. Faulkner entitled American Portraits. Tonight's play stars Martin Blaine, Jan Miner, and Kermit Murdoch. With an army of fewer than 200 men, he conquered an empire for the Continental Congress. His name, George Rogers Clark. His empire, the great American heartland lying between the Great Lakes and the Ohio River. His story? Well, we'll begin our version with an ancient letter. The letter was clearly very old and written in an altogether feminine hand. The first page was missing, and so the story begins in mid-career.
Oh, yes, dear brother. I was lonely that winter down in Carolina 2 years ago, in the early spring of 1777. Now, here in Louisville, with Colonel Clark's new town a-building all around us, it's hard to imagine that dire loneliness. I don't know what I'd have done had it not been for little Davy, the Scots orphan boy Father had taken in. One day, in the earliest spring, Davy was cleaning Father's rifle at the cabin door.
Hi, Sonny.
Hi.
That's a mighty long piece of gun for such a short piece of boy.
Surely it is not, sir. All one needs is a rest for the great battle. I shot a deer last week.
Is that so now? Say, this used to be the schoolmarm's house, didn't it?
Aye, it still is.
But you're new around here. What's your name, son?
David Ritchie.
Howdy, Dave.
Howdy, stranger.
Are the folks home?
No, Miss Mary's gone down to O'Hara's for supplies.
Miss Mary. She's been happy? Merry enough, I'll warrant.
She used to be, but that's gone by.
Gone by? She's not sick, boy.
No, she's not sick. She's sad.
Oh, why would she be sad, I wonder?
Because her pa died. And because of Tom McClory. Him she's promised to marry. He's been away for so long. And in the village they say he's run off with a Kentucky gal from over the mountains.
They say that, do they? Well, you tell her as soon as...
You tell her yourself, stranger. Here she comes.
Mary!
Tom McClory. You've come back. No, wait, Tom. Why did you come back?
Why, to marry you, of course. You haven't forgotten.
What about the Kentucky girl, that hussy from Harrodstown?
You don't believe that, Mary. Now, look here, I'm no boaster. But when I think what I come through to get back here to you, I wonder I ever come back at all with my scalp still on. Well, here I am, and we're going to be married tomorrow. Or are we?
Why, of course we are, Tom. Whoever said we weren't? Oh, Tom, it's been so long. And so, my dear brother, we were married. Tom in new fringed buckskins, me in a white linen gown I'd made myself, and lovely blue-beaded moccasins Tom had brought across the ridge. I remember the gaunt Baptist preacher riding in on his fat white pony, the fiddler's tunes, the dancing that lasted all night. But most of all, I remember Tom McClory, my great hunter, so straight and tall. Then, a few weeks later...
Lass.
Yes, Tom?
Mary, girl, there's something I've got to tell you. Something I should have told you before.
Tom, if it's about that Kentucky woman, you can save your breath. Who cares about her now?
There weren't no Kentucky woman, Mary.
Wasn't any, Tom.
Wasn't any either.
Yes. So you said.
It's about a man I met at Harrod's. Colonel Clark. He's a great man, I think, or will be. And he has a great plan afoot to lick the Indians and British for good and all in the western country. He's gathering an army at the falls of the Ohio this spring and... Well...
Go on, Tom.
Well, Mary, I promised him I'd join up at the falls. Then we needn't hunters. I gave him my word, Mary.
Well, if you gave him your word, you'll go.
Mary, I knew you'll
You'll
feel...
go, and I'll go with you.
But, Mary...
And so will Davy. We three are one family now. We'll go together. And so, dear brother, we set off in early April, up the trail first blazed by Dan'l Boone, the path across the great Blue Ridge. For weeks there was no sign of Indians. Tom was puzzled at first. Then he decided that the savages had figured no one would dare to try Boone's traces that wartime spring. We were lucky, he kept saying. Until one day, almost within sight of our goal on the great river, we were plodding along, Tom leading the pack horse, Davy and I on Prince, the pony, and...
Mary, close up. Hurry. Get down. Quick, Davy, for the love of God. They got my horse. Pull the other one down. Down, Prince. Down, you. Now, crouch back here with me, behind the horses. The red devils are over in the cane yonder, across the clearing. Well, they're bad shots, thank God. You stay here. Reach Davy the other gun. There.
Tom, where are you going?
After him. Around the edge of the cane to the right. Stay quiet now. Davy?
Yes, sir?
I'll try to draw their fire over yonder. Get that gun barrel ready to slide up over Prince's saddle. If you see one of them, shoot.
I will, sir.
Tom, don't leave us.
Shh, we'll get out of this. Quiet now.
Ma'am, I can see one of them. He's standing up to look for Tom.
Take aim, Davy.
Yes, all one needs is a rest for the battle. The saddle does fine.
Davy, you hit him, Davy.
Reckon I killed him, ma'am.
Mary, Dave, get Prince into the brush here, quick. I heard a horseman coming up the trail where we were headed. Up, Prince. Up.
Hello there! Hello! Halt there! Halt, I say!
It's a white man, and I know that voice. By the Lord Harry, it's Colonel Clark.
Tom McClory! Si, we got company. Dismount, men. Tom, you know Si Kenton here.
Sure thing. Howdy, Simon.
Howdy. Looks like we got here just in time. Been having engine trouble?
A mite, just a mite. Oh, Colonel Clark, Si, this is my wife, Mary, and our ward, David Ritchie.
Howdy, man. Meet you, man. Tom, you're just in time. We'll be starting downriver next week, if all goes well.
You've assembled an army, sir?
My army, such as it is, rests on Corn Island above the falls. 153 men, Tom. All I could beg, borrow, bribe, or steal in Virginia and the mountain settlements. We'll need you, McClory.
I said I'd make it, Colonel.
My compliments on keeping your word. And on your charming wife. My felicitations, ma'am.
Thank you, Colonel.
It's hardly an hour to the river. Davy, would you like to ride with me?
Surely, sir. I'd be delighted.
Hi. Such a solemn little engine fighter. All right, then. Up we go. Up.
And so, my dear brother, so I first met George Rogers Clark. He was 26 then, tall, red-haired, almost as handsome as my Tom, with courtly Virginia manners. He and Davy rode ahead, and when we came to a rise overlooking a lovely valley...
There you are, Davy. Look. The great river.
The Ohio, sir?
The Ohio. And the finest country, the most beautiful land God ever made. New, untouched, unspoiled, glorious. See the falls, boy, and the island above it?
Yes, sir.
Well, someday there'll be a great city there at the falls, son. It's in the stars. There'll be farms and towns and cities all up and down that river. And beyond, up to the lakes. That's British and Indian country now. Everything between the Ohio River and the North Pole. But it's mine to win for Virginia and the Congress. By all that's holy, I'll win it or die in the attempt.
I should like to help you, sir, if I may.
Well, now, I don't quite see... Well, hold on a minute. Can you play a drum, Davy?
No, sir, but I can learn. Do you have a drum?
That we have, a big British drum with the royal arms all over it. Stolen it was, like much of our gear. It's yours, Davy. We'll get down the river in style. The tune of the King's own drum. That'll be enough, Private Ritchie. Men. In an hour, we'll launch the flatboats and be off downriver about our business. The nature of that business I've had to conceal from you for reasons of secrecy. I'll tell you now what we're going to do. I am authorized men to carry the war to the enemy. To the doorstep of Colonel Henry Hamilton in Detroit. We're going after Hamilton. Hamilton, the paymaster of the savages who've slaughtered our women and children. Hamilton, the hair buyer. First, however, we must cut off the Britishers' southern supply depots at Kaskaskia and Post Vincennes. The people there are French. Just in time. I've had word that the French king has allied his nation with our own in this war. The French people of Kaskaskia and the Wabash country will not fight against us. No. They may even join us in a march northward against Detroit. The omens are most fortunate. Men, few as we are, we can, with the help of God, win a new empire to the American cause. The order of the day, for all the days ahead, is short and sweet. It reads, forward. Captain Bowman, Captain Helm, Captain Harrod, Captain Montgomery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get your men into the boats.
Aye, sir.
Davy, tattoo, if you please.
Surely, sir.
Well, Tom, it's goodbye then.
I'm afraid it is, lass. I'll come back. I promise you, I'll come back.
Somehow, Tom, I know you will. You'll take good care of Davy?
Oh, as a boy would say, surely I will. But, Mary...
Something troubles you, Tom?
Yes. Yes, I scarce know how to put it, but... Well, you haven't been fussing to come along.
No, I haven't.
I could manage it, just. My job's to hunt. I'll not be in the boats. Kenton and I, we're taking a canoe. There's room to spare.
No, Tom. This time, my job's to stay behind.
As long as I live, I'll never understand a woman's ways.
I think you'll understand it when you come back.
Hey, McClory. Come along now. Canoe's ready.
Oh, Tom. Tom.
Goodbye, lass.
Goodbye. God go with you.
To tell you, by radio, the story of George Rogers Clark requires almost half as many men as Clark himself used to win the Northwest Territory. Here in this NBC studio, there are 62 people gathered together. Actors, musicians, soundmen, engineers, directors, a writer, and yes, even an announcer. 62 people in one room. Not so unusual. Yet these 62 people are visiting with millions of people. And strangely enough, the reason why we are talking to so many people is because we can talk to so many people. Confused? Well, it's really very simple. Every program broadcast by NBC is paid for by money received from advertisers. And advertisers spend money with NBC because they can talk to so many people and do so at lower cost. For the amount of money an advertiser would spend sponsoring an average fall radio show, he can talk to over 8 million of you. The same money in newspapers would reach only about 3.5 million people. Yes, network radio gives advertisers better value, and that helps them give you better value in the products advertised on radio. Now we return to Colonel Clark's story as told in Mary McClory's letter.
As you may well have guessed, dear brother, I had good reason to stay behind with the women and the settlers on Corn Island. The rest of the story was told to me by Tom and Davy through many a long firelit evening here in Louisville. At first, all went well. Kaskaskia was taken by surprise, and Clark's diplomacy soon quieted the fears of the French.
Father Gibault, we may look like a band of ruffians. Ha! We do look like a band of ruffians. Especially McClory there with his red whiskers. But we Long Knives are not, as you may have been told, murderers and despoilers of women folks, monsters of iniquity. And we are not enemies of your religion. Under the laws of Virginia, all religions are reverenced and protected. Of course you may hold services as usual. You and your people have nothing to fear, Father Gibault. Nothing to fear.
Then at Kaskaskia, rumors reached the American commander that Hamilton had marched on Vincennes from Detroit. At Clark's headquarters...
Davy, would you please look over this letter for grammatical errors? My mathematics is good, but my spelling is bad. My grammar is worse. I always get my wazas in the word box.
I'll do my best, sir.
Come in. Ah, Mr. Vigo.
Colonel Clark.
Greetings, my friend.
It is so good to see you.
So, Davy, we have news at last. How's trade up the river, Francis?
Oh, the trade, it is good. The news, Sacre bleu, it's bad. Très mauvais, très mauvais.
It's true, then?
Yes. Hamilton has taken Vincennes once again. Your Captain Helm is prisoner.
You saw Hamilton?
I drink with him, I talk with him. He suspects nothing. I am rich fur trader, so I hate the Long Knives.
How large is his force?
He has 90 British regulars and 500 Indians from the north, under Major Hay and Captain Lamotte.
Confounded renegades. How I'd like to see them hang. Lord Vigo, I'd bind myself to slavery for 7 years to find 500 men and a few pounds sterling.
The money, mon ami, I'm happy to supply, but c'est impossible. You've not heard the worst news. Between here and Vincennes is one great lake. The Wabash has overflowed all this country. The floods came early and very bad. Very, very bad.
We're going to Vincennes, Vigo, my friend, floods or no floods. If necessary, we'll swim to Vincennes.
So began the hungry march, the lean march, the icy march through Wabash floods in January 1779. In the first days, Tom shot 3 buffalo, and the meat lasted for a while. But long before the march was over, the officers' horses were killed for food. Mile by freezing mile, sometimes inch by inch in the tangled underbrush of flooded forests. Day by day, hour by hour, they pushed ahead. On the 18th day, having slept in their soaked and icy buckskins on a swampy knoll, they were awakened by a new sound.
You hear that, Colonel? Yes, the Herr Bayer's sunrise gun. Thank heaven there's the sun at last to answer it. I thought it was gone behind the clouds for good and all.
Well, it's colder, though. Water up ahead may be frozen.
Take a look, Kent, will you? Over the hillock yonder. McClory.
Yes, sir. Here, sir.
Lord, what a wild sunset of a beard. How's the Richie boy?
Oh, he seems all right, sir. Leastwise, he never complains.
He's our luck. No troops ever stood in greater need of good fortune. You'll carry him again today, Tom.
Yes, sir. Oh, here's the lad now.
Good. Son, how about a little noise by way of reveille?
Very good, sir.
Men, your attention, please. We're
one day's march away from Post Vincennes and Fort Sackville. 24 hours from food and fire and dry britches once more. Have you got one day more left in you? Ahead of us lies the Horseshoe Plain, now known as Horseshoe Lake. Ahead of us lies Colonel Hamilton, the scalp merchant. Major Hay, his bloody agent.
That swine.
The French hunters we picked up yesterday have told me that no word of our coming has reached the fort.
Colonel?
Yes, Kenton. Frozen?
Yep, she's froze solid. An inch thick she is. Too thin to hold up and too thick for a nice warm swim.
We'll break the ice with the musket butts as we've done before. I'll lead the way. Davy.
Yes, sir.
Up on Tom's shoulder with you. Up. Now, you can hang on to his whiskers.
Easy, lad, easy.
Double file, men. Follow me.
What damnable insolence! What colossal, unmitigated effrontery! Major Hay.
Yes, Colonel Hamilton.
This backwoods Caesar demands that we surrender without firing a shot.
What?
Listen to this. Sir, in order to save yourself from the impending storm that threatens you, I order, he says, I order you to immediately surrender yourself up with all your garrison, stores, etc., for if I am obliged to storm, you may depend upon such treatment justly due to a murderer. Why, that bog-trotter. The man's mad.
Perhaps, sir, but after all, we counted 20 flags. He must have 1,000 men at least, Colonel.
Oh, nonsense. Take down my reply, Major.
Yes, sir.
Right. Governor Hamilton begs to acquaint Colonel Clark that he and his garrison are not disposed
to be awed into any action unworthy of British subjects. Ha! You may order a volley, Captain Bowman. Forward!
All day long, the battle went on. And hour by hour, Colonel Hamilton's resolution turned slowly to despair as the rifle fire of the Long Knives took murderous effect in Fort Sackville. By nightfall, the outcome was clear, and at dusk in the old French church at Vincennes, Hamilton surrendered. And surrendering, he was accorded the honors of war. Then, in the morning, with British gunners firing a salute gun for each of our 13 united colonies.
Your attention, please. Men, I thank you in the name of the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Continental Congress. Sergeant Cowan, you may raise the flag. And Davy, as the flag goes up, I want you to beat that drum as you've never beat it before. Very well, Sergeant. Attention! Mamsells are waiting for you. But steer clear of that Canadian fire water. Well, Davy?
Yes, Colonel Clark?
How'd you like to go back to Corn Island?
If Tom McClory's going...
I'll need Tom a bit longer. We've got these Britishers to feed for a while as well as ourselves. But I'm sending Simon Kenton back to the falls with dispatches. You're to go with him. That's an order, Private Ritchie.
Very well, sir. But Tom...
Oh, he'll be free to go a month from now. I promise you.
There's one thing, sir.
And what is that?
Please, Colonel. May I take my drum?
And so Davy was first home, and we waited together on Corn Island. But not for long. One fine day last spring, with Davy polishing his drum outside the door of our cabin in the sun.
Hi, Sonny.
Hi.
That's a mighty big drum for a smallish tyke like you, boy.
You can't be sure, sir. We've been places together, this drum and I.
You don't say. Places like Horseshoe Lake, mayhap?
Well, how did you... Tom! The uniform! No red whiskers! I never knew you, Tom.
Captain Thomas McLaury at your service, Davy. This is the schoolma'am's house, I believe.
That it is. And we've not time at all for playing games. There's something inside she'll want you to see. Come in.
Tom! Oh, it's you, Tom.
Mary. Mary, my dear.
Tom, come over here. Under the window. Here.
Good Lord. Is it...
He's a boy. Of course.
Mary, lass. Have you had him christened yet?
No, Tom. I was waiting for you.
I have a name for him. I have a great name for him.
So have I.
George Rogers Clark McLaury.
Signed, your affectionate sister, Mary Lee McLaury, at Louisville, in Kentucky.
And may I add a word about the National Broadcasting Company and bargains? Everybody likes a bargain. That goes for the advertisers listening in. That's why they use network radio. Because the same amount of money that would let an advertiser talk to over 8 million of you in a fall NBC show would reach only 5.5 million of you in magazines and only 3.5 million of you in newspapers. These days especially, advertisers are constantly looking for ways to cut their costs without lowering the quality of their product. So, getting better buys in advertising, such as they get on NBC, helps them give you better buys, too. You've been listening to The Sword of Kentucky, with Martin Blaine as Tom McLaury, Kermit Murdoch as Colonel Clark, Jan Miner as Mary McLaury, and David Anderson as Davy. Others in the cast were Ronald Long, Richard Newton, Dan Ocko, and Guy Sorrell. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen next week to American Portraits, when we shall present Reveille, the story of Baron Frederick von Steuben with Stefan Schnabel as the Baron. Tonight's American Portrait was written by George H. Faulkner and directed by James Harvey. Milton Katims conducted our orchestra in an original score by Alan Shulman. American Portraits is presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his Dangerous Assignment on NBC. The National Broadcasting Company, in the interests of the American system of radio, presents the seventh in a series of 8 dramas by George H. Faulkner entitled American Portraits. Tonight's star, Stephen Schnabel. The makers of the American Revolution were not, all of them, American by birth. To represent the huge and decisive contribution of sympathizers from abroad, we have chosen tonight to draw for you a picture of one of the earliest adventurers in arms who came to the aid of our young republic. His name? Well, perhaps you'd like to guess his name as we go along. The title of our play, Reveille. The time is September in the year 1777. Place, the European home of Dr. Benjamin Franklin at Passy, near Paris. A conversation between Dr. Franklin and a mysterious friend draws toward a close. The language is French, but if we may be permitted to translate.
Time, sir, is of the essence. Arrangements have been made for you to sail from Marseille. On Saturday, you will board the French frigate L'Heureux of 24 guns.
L'Heureux. The happy one. A fortunate name, Dr. Franklin.
Yes. And a good omen, I hope. By the way, you are aware that the aid being given the American colonies by the French court in this matter is highly secret. Entirely secret.
Of course. I do not talk. Since 14, I am a soldier.
The frigate will be disguised as a merchantman under the name of Le Flamand. You will take ship as one Mr. Frank, bearing dispatches for the governor of Martinique. But you will debark, with the help of God, at Portsmouth in New Hampshire.
Evening, lads.
Well, Sarge, what's new at headquarters?
What's new? Is there ever anything new at Valley Forge?
No. You was going to keep your ears open, Sarge. Didn't you hear anything?
2 things I heard. 2. Listening as I was to the big brass gorgets and their grand powwow.
What'd you hear, Sarge?
1, General Washington has wrote a letter to the gentlemen of Congress, a swilling of their port back in York in front of a fire. Gents, he says, we must have instant aid, or else we must either starve or disband. And the General, God bless him, has heard back. The gentlemen of Congress are sending us
food, shoes, riches, guns, ammunition.
No, lads. They're sending a committee. A committee to investigate and report back and so on, etc., etc.
We ought to skin them to make shoe leather.
Point 2. The boy made a speech.
Lafayette?
The boy himself. Gentlemen, he says, what this army needs is to be an army. Right now, he says we're not an army at all. We're a mere rabble. Oh, hold on now. He was right complimentary. No ordinary rabble, he says, could have held out like us. But we need somebody to tell us what to do, and how to do it, and why to do it.
Did he have any notions about what we're going to eat while we're doing it?
Well, no, the point wasn't mentioned. His lordship, the quartermaster general, Mr. Mifflin, he wasn't there. He's in York by the fire, chomping on a side of beef.
That does it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going home, back to Poughkeepsie, where all the pigs have 4 legs and turn into pork overnight.
Unbolt the door, Corporal. Attention! Corporal, close the door for the love of God. Thank you.
Man, this is Colonel Alexander Hamilton, General Washington's aide on tour of inspection. Colonel, this is what's left of my regiment. 4th New York, as you know.
What was your strength when we went into winter quarters here, Captain Walker?
90 men.
And now?
This morning, sir, there were 30 of us left.
Oh. What are those men doing in their bunks, Captain, this hour in the evening?
We're short of clothing, sir. Some of us have no breeches. We have to share about. The naked ones lie in the bunks.
Huh? Well, let's have a look at this boy. Sleeps pretty soundly. Lift the blanket, Captain.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes. It's Wilson from Newburgh. He was in a bad way this morning. The lungs, and the frost. But he's not asleep, sir. He's dead.
And thus, General Washington, gentlemen of the staff, I conclude my report of conditions here and now. And may I say
Thank you, Colonel Hamilton. Gentlemen, you realize the seriousness of our situation. We have 10,000, more or less. Heaven knows how many more, how many less. Some 10,000 troops left.
The sick we can count easily, gentlemen. More than a fifth of our body.
The point I wish to make, General Conway, is that in the European sense, these troops do not constitute an army at all. Despair, lack of discipline, desertions, disorganization. These are the roots of our difficulties.
May I suggest, sir, that the root of our difficulty lies in this senseless, stupid, and utterly destructive attitude of the Congress. Good heavens, sir, even if we win, are we to be ruled by a coterie of timid, greedy dolts and asses?
If we win, Colonel, and we shall win, we will be ruled by the representatives of the people. That is what we are fighting for. The people's representatives will never be inspired judges, nor saints, nor philosophers. Oh, surely this is no time or place for political theorizing. Ours is a practical problem. It has been stated most clearly by Lafayette.
Thank you, sir. Being so young, I had feared to raise my voice.
All voices are needed now. You should know, my dear young friend, that the problem you pose to us is not a new one in our eyes. We have proposed to the Congress that an Inspector General be appointed.
Congress again. Talk. How long must this go on, sir?
Possibly until you learn patience, Hamilton, and common charity. Yes, General Conway?
Since we are so clearly getting nowhere whatever, sir, may I suggest that we adjourn? I, for one, have need of sleep. General Wilkinson here, he is asleep.
It would be a shame to wake him. Well, I, too, am weary of debate. Gentlemen, we stand adjourned. Sleep well, General Conway.
Good night, General.
What a waste of time, these eternal councils. And how characteristic of our so democratic commander.
Our commander at the moment, Conway. What the heavenly aroma. What is it?
Guinea hen, well roasted, prime. And a quart of Rhenish grape to wash it down. And brandy to come.
Oh.
Nice, my friend.
But here at Valley Forge, how do you manage?
I have friends in the Congress at York, General Wilkinson. Good friends, well placed. 2 of them on the Board of War. As aide-de-camp to General Gates, you must know how these things are done, eh? Come, Wilkinson. We can understand each other. The friends of General Gates at York are my friends and yours. We can do business, Wilkinson.
Oh? How?
In this matter, Washington has placed himself in an utterly untenable position. Someone is needed to create an army out of this disorganized mob at Valley Forge. So he has recommended to the Board of War that an Inspector General be appointed. Do you know who that Inspector General will be, Wilkinson?
Who?
Me, General. Me.
You?
It's all arranged. And I am to report directly to the Board of War, not to General Washington. Do you understand?
Could I...
A little brandy, certainly. Now, to us, General Wilkinson, to us, and to our future Commander-in-Chief, General Horatio Gates.
This is the end, Hamilton. The end.
What has happened, sir?
I've just received word from Congress that the Board of War has finally acted on my recommendation. They've appointed an inspector general. They've appointed Conway.
Conway? That French-Irish charlatan? What are we going to do, sir?
We can do nothing. He's not under my command. He will, they instruct me, report directly to the Congress. Oh, it's insufferable. I shall receive him with the courtesy required by his new office and the contempt suggested by his odious person.
If you were to take my advice, sir, you'd march on York and seize power yourself. The men would follow you.
I had forbidden you to mention that vanity again, Hamilton. Perhaps my career is nearing its close. Well, it may end in defeat, but never shall it end in treason.
But, sir, we cannot...
We cannot discuss the matter, Colonel.
I was about to suggest, sir, that our fortunes can descend no lower.
Come in. Yes, Colonel Lawrence?
A message, sir, from one of Dr. Franklin's New England agents.
Let me see it, Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frank has departed from Boston with messages for the governor of Martinique. Good.
Good news, sir?
It may be the answer to our prayers. Dr. Franklin has won an illustrious recruit to our cause. Mr. Frank is the Baron Frederick William von Steuben, the foremost soldier in Europe.
In the days of Dr. Franklin and General Washington, news traveled very slowly. So slowly that months were required to bring word of Mr. Frank's coming from Paris to Valley Forge. Today, NBC and its affiliated stations bring you the news of the world in a matter of minutes, even seconds after that news breaks. But there's more to network radio than that. Radio is a more efficient and less expensive way to advertise. The increased sales resulting from the advertising means more production of goods and lower prices for you. In addition, the keen competition inherent in advertising shows up every day in new products, in better products for your use. Every program broadcast by NBC and its affiliated stations, whether it contains an advertising message or not, is paid for by the revenue gained from advertisers. So, when shopping, remember the brand names you've heard on NBC. Those manufacturers believe in their products enough to urge the greatest possible number of people to test them in their homes. Only quality products can survive this test. Only quality products can continue to advertise. We return to the headquarters of General Washington at Valley Forge, where his shivering army suffers in the snow. Desertions mount daily with the continued failure of supply, and over the commander himself hangs the threat of the infamous Conway-Gates cabal. At last, Washington takes steps against the conspirators.
Colonel Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Prepare a letter to General Conway. And listen to this, Colonel Hamilton.
Yes, General.
You ready, Lawrence?
Yes, sir.
General Conway, a letter which I received last night contained the following paragraph. In a dispatch from General Conway to General Gates, Conway wrote, "Heaven has determined to save your country, General Gates, else a weak commander-in-chief would have ruined it long since." End of quotation, Colonel. Sign the letter, I remain your humble servant, George Washington.
That is all, sir?
That is all.
General, how did you learn of Conway's letter to Gates?
Wilkinson, in his cups as usual, babbled it out in the hearing of one of my few friends at Gates's headquarters.
But Conway will tell Gates at once, and Gates will think...
Yes, if I know Gates, he will think that you, Colonel, must have examined his dispatches by stealth when you were at his headquarters last week. He trusts no one. And being by nature a fatuous bungler, he will write to me denying that he ever received such a letter from Conway. He will write to Congress also, complaining that I have libeled Conway. Such a hubbub will be raised that the whole plot must come out into the open at last. In the open, they will appear for what they are, subverters of our cause, and arrant fools to boot.
I see, sir. The letter is a slow fuse leading to a barrel of gunpowder at York.
I hope so. I hope so. Colonel, I trust arrangements have been made to receive the Baron von Steuben.
Oh, yes, sir. He'll be met by a headquarters company under Captain Walker on the York Road and escorted here with every honor, sir.
It can't be much longer now. When he comes, I shall ride out to meet him myself.
General Washington, may I present the Baron Frederick William von Steuben?
Welcome, my dear Baron. We've all of us looked forward to your arrival.
General, mein English is not good. I have learned a speech to say to you, so I forget. I am very happy.
Many of our officers are able to converse in French, Baron. Captain Walker here is accomplished in German as well.
Ah, mon ami Walker. Wir haben schon gesprochen. Wir werden uns gut verstehen, no?
Oui, oui. Zu allen Zeiten kennen Sie sicher sein.
Captain Walker, my letters to the Baron, I have hinted at our pitiful condition here. At your earliest opportunity, you will explain to him those things which cannot be said in letters. Tell him our enemy has forced us in these campaigns to fight pitched battles on the European order and on a European scale.
Yes, sir.
We've lost those battles for lack of unified training, for lack of system, for lack of drill. To instill system will be the Baron's work.
I think perhaps the Baron understands English better than he speaks it, General Washington.
Aber ja. Ah, mon General, if you but knew how my heart rejoices, how happy I am to do again the work of a soldier. I have come here to work. I go to work at once.
Baron, you bring us new hope.
I tell you, Mistress Green, the like of this man von Steuben has not before been seen on our side of the ocean. Why, he's a combination of Don Quixote, Jolly Father Christmas, and Satan himself, all rolled into one, with 7-league boots.
La, and so handsome, too. I do declare on horseback he looks like the very god of war.
But, Captain, my husband tells me the men are laughing at your Baron von Steuben just as we are now.
And is it not good to hear laughter again at Valley Forge, Mrs. Green? They began by laughing at him. In a day's time, they were laughing with him. All day he labors at the drill ground, pushing and pounding each squad into shape, as if he were a young lieutenant eager for promotion. Each night he spends writing out a new chapter in his manual of war. And I, perforce, stay up to make a fair copy in English. And then 6 men work until dawn, making more copies for the brigade commanders. At 3 a.m., mind you, the Baron is up again. He smokes a pipe while his valet dresses his hair. He has 1 cup of coffee. And at sunrise, he's drilling his beloved model company again. 1, 2, 3, cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I, perforce, I'm out there with him, translating all 3 languages at once.
Poor Captain Walker. You must be worn out. Quite worn out.
On the contrary, Madam Green, I had never felt better in all my life. Since your husband succeeded the wretched Mifflin as quartermaster, I have acquired a warm coat to my back and reasonable rations to warm my innards. And I have work to do. Good work.
Captain, we must meet this paragon of yours.
I shall oblige with great pleasure. And when he meets you, Miss Meade, I know what he'll say.
And what will he say, Captain?
I can hear him now. Wunderschön. Wunderschön. Ah, Liebchen, comme vous êtes belle. How you are épouvantablement ravissante. And then Fritz says to me, he says, Sergeant Jenkins, you know what is this? A bayonet, says I. What is for, Sergeant, says he. To roast pig meat on the end of, says I. When we got pig meat, which we ate. Tom Cook, he says, it is for sticking lobster backs into belly. I show you. And he grabs my musket and starts dancing around and stabbing the air like a great Dutch windmill.
Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dump, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dump, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
There, gentlemen of Congress, there you behold an army. When you were last with us, you saw a pitiful rabble. I arranged for this review in your honor, gentlemen, so that you might see with your own eyes what has happened.
It is miraculous, General Washington. Simply miraculous.
No, sir, it is the result of the genius and hard work of Baron von Steuben. He came to us as a volunteer, without pay.
You know, of course, that Inspector General Conway has tendered us his resignation.
I do. If I may, I would like to nominate as his successor in the office and pay of Inspector General the Baron Frederick William von Steuben.
Achtung! Feuer! Marsch!
Gentlemen of the Star, little did I think I would live to see the day when it would be possible to serve a banquet at Valley Ford. General Greene has outdone himself with the farmers in the hinterland. And, gentlemen, the occasion is worthy of his efforts. I have news for you. Splendid news.
Yes, sir.
His Majesty King Louis XVI of France has declared that a state of war exists between his country and Britain. Lafayette.
General, friends, this, you must know, is the happiest moment of my life. May I propose a toast to the people of my country, to France.
And I have further news, hardly less important, hardly less gratifying to me. Baron von Steuben.
Yes, sir.
Baron, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for the work you've accomplished here. In a few short weeks, you've performed a feat, sir, without parallel in the history of arms. You have surmounted obstacles beyond number. You've turned a sick, despondent mob into a spirited army of disciplined soldiers. You've taught us how to laugh again. My news is this. The Continental Congress has confirmed your appointment, Baron, as Inspector General in the Army of the United States. Another toast to General von Steuben, the architect of our future victory.
Gentlemen, mein Englisch is not good. But it is better, no? Yes, I have teach. I have learned. I have learned much more than what I teach from these men, these sans-culottes, these ones without breeches. I have learned what it means, this word freedom. I have seen, I know, no European soldiers could do what they have done. In Europe is slaves. Here is free men. Another toast. I give you the American private soldier. He is the best fighting man in the world. To our victory.
Shall we join the ladies?
Congratulations.
Herr Baron?
Ah, mon ami Valcaire. Have you heard?
Yes, it's wonderful. Wonderful, sir. Oh, Baron, there's a pretty young lady here who wishes to meet you.
But certainly, Capitaine. Jolie, tu dis?
Oh, oui, très jolie, très belle. Et elle parle français.
Oh. Où est-elle?
Ici. Miss Mead,
Yes?
may I present Inspector General von Steuben?
Mademoiselle, comme vous êtes belle, comme vous êtes épouvantablement ravissante.
The Baron spoke for himself in no uncertain terms. He didn't bother to write it out on a piece of paper. And if you wanted to sell your house or a car, you wouldn't send a piece of paper with your sales talk printed on it. You'd talk with the buyer yourself. Because people sell better than paper. The voice is more persuasive than ink. And that's true in advertising, too. Now, that doesn't mean everyone should use door-to-door salesmen. That's pretty expensive. A door-to-door salesman can only make about 20 calls a day. But there is a way advertisers can use the human voice and personality to make several million nationwide calls at one time. It's network radio. Radio is people. It's a grocery clerk or an automobile salesman multiplied millions of times. With network radio, people talk to more people at less cost than with any other method of advertising and with better results. For people sell better than paper. Baron von Steuben tonight was the distinguished stage and screen actor Stefan Schnabel. Kermit Murdoch played General Washington. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen next week when we present Carl Swenson in Keepsakes, a dramatic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The American Portrait series is written by George H. Faulkner and directed by James Harvey. Our music is conducted by Milton Katims from an original score composed by Alan Shulman. Tonight's American Portrait was presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which is heard regularly on Tuesday nights and which will resume its fall broadcasting season on September 4th. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC. The National Broadcasting Company, in the interests of the American system of radio, presents American Portraits, written by George H. Faulkner. The title of our final play in this series of 8 dramatic portraits is Keepsakes. And in Keepsakes, we shall hear Carl Swenson as Abraham Lincoln.
Mr. Lincoln, sir,
Yes, child?
would you write my autograph album, sir? Just a few lines.
Why, certainly. Let's see now. As usual, my desk pens need sharpening.
No, I brought one with me. I'll cherish it always, sir, as a keepsake.
And I will have trouble matching that compliment. Well, now, let's see. Dear Mary Delahaye, with pleasure, I write my name in your album. Ere long, some younger man will be even more happy to confer his name upon you. Don't allow it, Mary, until fully assured that he is worthy of the happiness. Your friend, A. Lincoln.
There are certain old poems, old stories, old books, clocks and jackknives, old rose and lavender keepsakes with musk and dusk in them, with the sunset smoke loitering in the faded shine of their walnuts and mahogany stain and embellishment. And we learn them by heart. We memorize their lines and outlines and put them away in the chests and attics of our memories, keeping them as keepsakes till the next time they'll be wanted. They will always be wanted again. In thousands of American homes after Abraham Lincoln's death, keepsakes tinted with the glory and tragedy of his name were kept and preserved from the touch of time. About the year 1883, in Pittsfield, Illinois, a 13-year-old boy named Oliver Barrett began to collect these Lincoln mementos, for Pittsfield was and is Lincoln country. All his life long, Barrett kept up the quest. Today, his collection is a priceless treasury of the American past and a joy to every Lincoln scholar. Let us move about among the treasures. Here, for example, is a leaf from the arithmetic or sum book used by Lincoln as a boy. And on it, the boy wrote,
Abraham Lincoln, his hand and pen, he will be good, but God knows when.
Autographs in pen and ink are common enough. Seldom do we meet a name carved by jackknife in an axe handle. The pioneer youth at New Salem, Illinois, it would seem, did put his name, the year, and his home village on an axe handle. Here it is. Ollie Barrett found it somewhere. And here, too, for what derivation may be made from it, is a stone. A stone dug up in 1890 by the grandson of Abe's good friend, Bowling Green. On the stone, a legend has been chiseled.
There, it's done. A. Lincoln, Anne Rutledge, betrothed here, July 4th, 1833. About time, too. Looks like we might have a thunder shower.
I reckon we better get back to the picnic grounds and the speech making.
Should we tell them, Anne? Should we tell all the folks back there?
Why not, Abe?
Oh, Lord, Anne, I still can't believe it's true.
But it is true. I've known it, Abe, since that first day I saw you. Remember where that was?
Of course I do. I reckon I remember every time I ever set eyes on you, Anne.
Where was it then?
Well, right in your father's tavern. First meeting of the Literary and Debating Society. The night I was too bashful to say a word, hardly.
I remember. I came and sat down next to you. The corn's getting high, isn't it? I said. And you said, sure is. And then you sprawled out there, looking at your hands.
Couldn't figure out what to do with them, man. All of a sudden, they got to be a problem. Couldn't put them in my pocket sitting down. Yep, up until that moment, I reckon I never knew I had so many hands. And no tongue at all, to speak of.
You found your tongue, though.
Oh. Once I get started, I can speechify, all right. I talked my way right out of the state legislature last election.
But everybody in New Salem voted for you.
Well, not quite everybody. A few folks had sense.
277 votes out of 300. Oh, they know you're here, Abe. They know you're going to be a great man. Just as I know it.
No, Ann. You know I'm a failure. You know I've been a failure at everything I've touched. Right now, the store's on its last legs, just about ready to wink out. All I own is a mess of debts.
And a mess of friends, Abe Lincoln.
Creditors, most of them. Ann, how can we ever hope to get married? Why should you want to marry anyone like me?
Abe, sometimes I just don't understand you at all. A few minutes ago, you were all brightness and smiles, wanting to carve that stone. He's happy, I thought. I've made him happy. At last, he's really happy. And now...
It was the stone, Ann.
It was what?
I didn't mean to tell you. The stone in my hands, it was so cold. Well, I reckon I shouldn't have told you.
But I don't understand.
All of a sudden, just when I'd finished carving it, come over me. Something said, it won't happen, Abe Lincoln. It'll never come true. And then I touched that stone, and it was cold. Like ice, burning cold.
Why, Abe.
And I'm like this. It's happened before. You mustn't pay no attention.
Yes, there is a storm coming. Abe. Oh, Abe.
Yeah, I am.
Hold me, Abe. Hold on to me close. Never let me go.
I won't. I won't let you go. Not ever.
We'll bury the stone. We'll bury it. We'll hide the cold stone where it'll never be found. And we'll be married. In the spring, we'll be married, Abe. And wherever you go, I'll be with you. Always, Abe. Always. Always. Oh, hold on to me. Hold on to me.
Yeah. Yes, Ann. Wherever I go, you'll be with me. Forever.
Within the year, Anne Rutledge lay buried beneath another cold and humble stone. For weeks, young Abe wandered darkly, refusing the solace of friends. But slowly, as the days passed, some order of control came back to him. Only it was said that the shadows of a burning he had been through were fixed in the depths of his eyes, and he was a changed man, keeping to himself the gray mystery of the change. And here, among Oliver Barrett's keepsakes, the record of the changed man is kept, on yellowed scraps of paper, in ancient newspapers, ancient letters. A letter, for instance, written by one Matthew Marsh in New Salem to his folks back east.
The postmaster, Mr. Lincoln, is very careless about leaving his office open and unlocked during the day. Half the time I go in and get my newspapers and so forth without anyone being there, as was the case yesterday.
Letters are here from the young legislator at Vandalia, from the circuit riding lawyer in Springfield, the new capital. Here's the watch he later gave to Dennis Hanks, his spectacles, and here, folded and refolded, fragile as an air from an old-fashioned spinet. Here's the poem he wrote out for the singer Lois Newhall.
Oh, why should the spirit of mortal be proud? Like a swift fleeting meteor, a fast flying cloud, a flash of the lightning, a break of the wave, he passeth from life to his rest in the grave.
Not always sad. Not always sad, of course. Laughter flashes more often than woe among these relics of Springfield days. A New York client writes asking Lawyer Lincoln about the financial standing of a Springfield neighbor. And he replies,
Yours of the 10th received. First of all, he has a wife and a baby. Together, they ought to be worth $500,000 to any man. Secondly, he has an office in which there is a table worth $1.50 and 3 chairs worth, say, $1. Last of all, there is in one corner a large rat hole, which will bear looking into. Respectfully, A. Lincoln.
And here is the latest of Oliver Barrett's hoarded treasures. A recently discovered Lincoln speech. Speech made during the senatorial contest with Stephen Douglas. The exact date and place of delivery of the speech are not given, but we can imagine the scene. We are outside the courthouse in a small Illinois county seat, late in an autumn evening. The courthouse doorways are lighted by kerosene flares. But it's dark along the sidewalk, where citizens wait and gossip, waiting for the speaker to arrive, listening to the band.
Yeah, I hear Telly tied Judge Douglas up in hard knots over there in Galesburg last week.
Depends on what paper you read. Jim Beale here, he heard them both go out of yonder Knowlton. Think Abe stands a show, Jim?
If it was up to me, he would. There's something sure about it. Sure and comforting.
How do you mean?
Well, when I went over to hear him at Alton, things looked uncertain. I had troubles. Home troubles. Feared like I had more than I could stand up under. Just too much. But he hadn't spoken more than 10 minutes before I felt like I never had no load at all. My load was lifted.
Well, maybe so. What gets me is he's gol darn ugly. If they was running for the ugliest man in the state of Illinois, he'd win hands down. Abe Lincoln looks more like an ape than a sander, if you was to ask me. And what's more, he's...
Shut up, Shorty. Here he comes.
Evening, folks.
Howdy, Mr. Lincoln.
Couldn't help overhearing the last remark of my handsome friend here. Howdy, friend.
Now, don't you mind Shorty Johnson, Mr. Lincoln. When we run out of skunks around here, we whistle for Shorty.
I don't mind. I reckon I'm like the man I heard tell of over Indiana way. He was riding along a narrow trail on horseback when he meets an old lady riding the other way. Well, the old lady says, for the land's sake, you are the homeliest man I ever did see. Yes, ma'am, he says, I sure am homely, but I can't help that. No, I suppose not, she says, but the least you might do is stay home. Well, so long as I didn't stay home, you boys might as well come along over to the courthouse and hear a few homely words from the ugliest man in the state of Illinois. Now, my countrymen, if you have been taught doctrines which conflict with the great landmarks of the Declaration of Independence, if you have listened to suggestions which would take from its grandeur and mutilate the symmetry of its proportions, if you have been inclined to believe that all men are not created equal in those inalienable rights enumerated by our Charter of Liberty, let me entreat you to come back. Return to the fountain whose waters spring close by the blood of the Revolution. Think nothing of me. Take no thought for the political fate of any man whomsoever. But come back to the truths that are in the Declaration of Independence. You may do anything to me you choose, if you will but heed these principles. You may not only defeat me for the Senate, but you may take me and put me to death, while pretending no indifference to earthly honors, I do claim to be actuated in this contest by something higher than an anxiety to office. I am nothing Judge Douglas is nothing. But do not destroy that immortal emblem of humanity, the Declaration of Independence.
When our government has an important message to get to the people fast, it uses radio. Network radio is the only way to reach everybody in the country in a hurry. The same speed and coverage which make radio vital to our national welfare have made it invaluable to American business, too. When there's a new product to be launched, a new territory to open, a new price to be announced, it can be done the same day on radio. And no other medium of communication talks to so many people at such a low cost. The speed, the economy, and the persuasiveness of network radio. These are the reasons why America's leading advertisers present your favorite programs each week on NBC. We return to Keepsakes, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln drawn in terms of the Lincoln mementos gathered by Oliver Barrett and described in Carl Sandburg's book, Lincoln Collector.
Then the war years came. Their burdens and vexations and small gleams of light are reflected in hundreds and hundreds of Oliver Barrett's keepsakes, an orderly snowstorm of little papers, each signed A. Lincoln.
General Grant, your 3 dispatches received. From what direction did the enemy come that attacked Griffin? How do things look now? A. Lincoln. Honorable the Secretary of War, my son Tad wants some flags. Can he be accommodated? A. Lincoln. It is ordered that the death sentence be commuted. A. Lincoln. My dear Mr. Crock, allow me to thank you in behalf of my little son for your present of white rabbits. He is very much pleased with them. Yours truly, Abraham Lincoln. Major Ramsey, the lady bearer of this says she has 2 sons who want to work. Set them at it, if possible. Wanting to work is so rare a want that it should be encouraged. A. Lincoln. I believe I need no escort, and unless the Secretary of War directs, none need attend me. A. Lincoln.
His friends worried because he would ride unescorted on a horse called Old Abe 3 miles each evening from the White House out to the soldiers' home, where his family were avoiding Washington's heat. And perhaps the one who worried most was Ward Hill Lamon, Lincoln's particular friend, his Harry Hopkins, a guardian, confidant, privileged jester, and at times a musician. Here in the Barrett collection, we find Lamon's name signed to a program for the dedication ceremonies at Gettysburg as Grand Marshal. The name may call to mind, perhaps, an evening in the wartime summer of '63 in Lincoln's White House office.
Oh, come in, Ward. Come in.
Evening, Abe.
Glad you could come. Glad you brought the instrument. But that's about all I am glad about.
News bad, Abe?
Worse and worse, if possible. Lee's loose again. He's heading north.
Ready for a little music, maybe?
Later, Ward. First, I would like to ask you to deliver a strong and hearty kick straight to the seat of my pants, metaphorically speaking.
Well, that's the only way I'd think of doing it, Mr. President. But why would you want...
Ward, you see, it's like this. I lost my $8 plug hat.
I don't see what
well,
that's got...
it's more the way that I lost it that gives me the flusters. That's why I sent for you. I've been shot at, Ward.
Where? When? I warned you.
Yeah, I know you did. You warned me. That's why I asked for that manner of speaking kick. Yeah, it happened last night about 11. I was riding along on Old Abe, out toward the soldiers' home, sort of brooding about things in general. Somebody took a pot shot at me not 50 yards off. Well, one Old Abe took off on 4 skeered legs, lickety-split, and t'other Old Abe hung on for dear life, losing his valuable hat in the process. We got home safe, but tuckered.
And so you make a joke of it.
What else can I do, Ward? What else can I do? It's laugh, fool, or die. Oh, my friend. Why do they hate me so? Here, look. Look at those letters. Half of them berate me for a villain. Good many of them threaten to kill me. Why do they hate me so?
Because they don't know you, Abe.
Ward, I tell you, no man has been cursed as I've been cursed. Day in, day out these past 3 years. North and south. North and south. How the newspapers rave. Heartless gorilla, they call me. Blaspheming buffoon. Deformed idiot. Worse, much worse. Now, bad news from Meade. Stanton's mule-headedness. Married, nagging. Yeah. You're right. Music. I can't cut loose. I can't ever loose hold on to myself. And the music helps.
A blue-tail fly, Abe?
Yes, that'll do it. That'll help. Especially that last verse. He died, and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tail fly. Ward, for sheer and total absence of meaning, that line takes the prize. That's why I like it. Too much meaning in everything I do. Well, first some music, Ward, and then, if I can, a little sleep. No, I guess not. No sleep yet.
What was that?
Now, don't get worried. That's just my son, Tad. Ought to be in bed, but yeah. That's Morse code. Tad learned it over at the War Department telegraph office. Probably wants to read the dispatches or show me his pet rabbit or drill the White House guard or plague me for a Navy sword. Come in, Tad. Come on in, boy.
And then, out of the horrible burdens, a victory note. A note re-echoed here in the endless archives of Oliver Barrett. A telegraph form dated April 2nd, 1865, inscribed Headquarters, Armies of the United States, and filled from edge to edge with A. Lincoln's scrawl.
Lieutenant General Grant, allow me to tender to you and all with you the nation's grateful thanks for this magnificent success. At your kind suggestion, I think I will visit you tomorrow. A. Lincoln.
April 2nd to April 14th, 1865. 12 days. From victory to, well, fill in, if you will, these 12 last days with the keepsakes time has cast up in the cases, the files, the shelves, the portfolios of Oliver Barrett's collection. What price a pair of beaded moccasins with the initials A.L. enwrought, wherein the feet of Nancy Hanks' son trod the White House corridors? How would you begin to set a value on this silver watch, this gold watch chain, this pearl-handled pocket knife with A. Lincoln silver inlaid in the pearl, this Bible presented to A. Lincoln by the colored people of Baltimore, this quill pen, or upon this shawl worn by Miss Laura Keene, actress, during a performance of Our American Cousin on the night of April 14th, 1865, at Ford's Theater in Washington? Or this curtain torn from a box at Ford's Theater on that night? Or this blood-stained fan found in a box at Ford's Theater on that night? Or this piece of soiled wallpaper from that same box? Or this key to the box itself? Or this piece of pasteboard, this ticket, this box ticket, this passport to eternity that bears the legend, reserved? Reserved for...
You may do anything to me you choose, if you will but heed these principles. You may not only defeat me for the Senate, but you may take me and put me to death. I am nothing. Judge Douglas is nothing. But do not destroy that immortal emblem of humanity, the Declaration of Independence.
We hope that you have enjoyed American Portraits over the last 8 weeks. We've talked together about matters of importance. We've been able to do so because we are what we are, a radio network. And a radio network is a great web of contact spanning this entire land, touching now or then all peoples at all times. From the farmer starting his day at dawn to the young girl at a party, radio reaches everybody. And radio advertising sells all markets. Not only can advertisers talk directly to you by using radio, but it costs them less than other methods. For example, a manufacturer could reach 3,696,000 people in newspapers, yet for the same money, he would reach about 8,200,000 people, over twice that number, if he sponsored the average fall show on NBC. Yes, network radio is a bargain to advertisers. It is also the only way to reach a truly national audience with the human voice. Advertisers spend money with NBC because they wish to reach the greatest possible number of people for the least possible cost and with the force and persuasion of the human voice. You've been listening to Carl Swenson as Abraham Lincoln and Kermit Murdoch as the narrator in Keepsakes, the last in NBC's special series of 8 American Portraits. Keepsakes was written by George H. Faulkner and directed by James Harvey. Our music was conducted by Milton Katims from an original score composed by Alan Shulman. American Portraits has been presented through the courtesy and cooperation of the editors of Cavalcade of America, which returns to the air next Tuesday night at this time. This is Ben Grauer inviting you to listen next week when Cavalcade will present Towards a New World with the well-known Hollywood and Broadway star Basil Rathbone. Now hear Brian Donlevy and his dangerous assignment on NBC.